It's a reward for helping the U.S. carry out Operation Midnight Hammer back in June.
That's when the U.S. joined Israel bombing Iran's nuclear facilities. America's listening to Fox News.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
For 97.1 FM Talk, I'm Dan Buck. It is 5:03, and we have a cool 52 degrees, a lot better than yesterday, though, and the rain has moved out. A third student has been detained by Lake St. Louis police after a homemade bomb exploded in Lake St. Louis outside the home of a school official. The incident occurred this past Saturday evening when police officers were called to a subdivision just off Highway N in Lake St. Louis. The two explosions were captured on surveillance cameras, and while no one was injured, the home did sustain damage, according to police. Following the explosion, authorities said remnants belonging to an improvised bomb were seized, and 3 teenagers have been placed in juvenile detention. A fourth suspect, believed to be an adult, is still being sought in that case. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police continue their efforts cracking down on reckless and illegal driving in the city. Over the past week, police arrested multiple drivers illegally operating mini bikes near the intersection of North 13th and Cass. Additionally, all 6 of those loud mini bikes were seized by law enforcement. In a social media post, police wrote, "We've warned you before, use it, lose it," which they did. 16 building trades in the St. Louis area are forming a network of support to focus on the mental health of workers. The motivation to join forces is based on staggering stats. Construction workers had the second highest suicide rate of any industry, only behind mining. Substance abuse is twice as common among the general public, and overdose deaths occur 18 times more often than job site fatalities. In sports, Monday Night Football, the Patriots took care of the Jets 27-14. Tonight, the Blues get back at it. They'll be up in Toronto. They face the Maple Leafs. That's your headlines. I'm Dan Buck on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Our temperatures continue to bounce around, and we're going to jump close to 70 this afternoon. Partly sunny skies. There's still a chance of a spot shower, but the overnight rain is basically moving out. Then tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Just kind of gloomy. 47 degrees. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, 61. Then here comes a stronger batch of rain. Periods of rain and some thunderstorms Thursday night, and into Friday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Again, 52 degrees right now, cloudy skies, but it looks like the rain has moved on out. So enjoy your day, and also enjoy the Marc Cox Morning Show and all the great programs here on 97.1 FM Talk by downloading that free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
All right, let's get this party started. Good morning to you. A few minutes after 5 here on the Marc Cox Morning Show, and we are happy that you are with us. For the first time in a couple of days, Dan, overnight it seems like the temperature went up instead of down.
I
Like
know.
it was colder when we went to bed than it is this morning. It's like in the 50s out there. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like 52. I expected
yeah.
to get hit by a little Arctic blast after that rain came in, but no, it's the opposite. It's weird.
Well, it is, and we got a great show for you this morning. We're going to get to our friends John Lamping, the former state senator, talk a little bit about what's going on with the St. Charles County race, which we haven't talked about in a couple of weeks here for county executive over there. We got Mark Walters on a little later, Todd Piro, Ryan Wiggins. There was a big court ruling allowing concerning handgun purchases in a one state where you might be a little surprised at what happened. And we're going to get to Eben Brown on that coming up in the next hour. We got lots of stuff to get to. More Guns and Hoses tickets to give away today. That is coming up a week from tomorrow, if you can believe how quickly
Thanksgiving is here.
Oh my! It's right on us.
It
It's
is
going to
a
be
week
Christmas
away.
before you know it. This is crazy.
Exactly.
Absolutely crazy. So yesterday I teased this a little bit, and I'm going to talk about it throughout the morning. But for the benefit of those of you tuning in early today, here is the big announcement that I talked about yesterday regarding the Responder Rescue ATF raffle day.
Do we have it? Yes, we have a drum roll. We have the drum roll.
We need more donations. And this year, for the person who donates the most money, who buys the most number of tickets,
Okay.
will get Blues great Tony Twist, and I will go to dinner with them personally after the raffle is over.
Where are we going to dinner?
Well, that's still to be determined.
Okay.
But it's going to be a nice place. I have several names were thrown out that had me salivating. And we are going to take the chief donor, the number one. So please go buy your tickets, spend what you can afford to spend. The person that spends the most this year is going to get to go to dinner with me, with the fine folks from Responder Rescue, Lisa and Pat, and Blues tough man Tony Twist.
Oh,
the
my
Twister,
gosh.
donating his time, and I really appreciate that, to help out. I mean, no other reason that he's interested in supporting Responder Rescue and first responders, and he's agreed to commit his time to this. So there you
Tony
have
is such a good guy.
Dinner on us.
I promise you, it'll be the most entertaining dinner you've ever had. You get him telling stories, and it is absolutely hysterical.
Oh, I'll bet.
Yeah,
I'll
you
bet.
will have
I've
much fun. Oh my gosh!
I've met Tony a couple times over
that
the
ups
years.
the
He's a
ante on
great
this.
guy.
That ups the ante on this raffle.
Well,
big
let
time.
me tell
Now,
you what
if
else.
how do I know I'm close? Like if I'm donating, and I feel like I've been generous. How will I?
Well,
know?
you just need to donate more.
Just keep going and
just keep going
all
until it hurts.
What's
You
that?
gotta
What's
give
that
till it
dinner
hurts.
worth to you?
Well,
Right.
give till it hurts.
And is it for the one person, or can they bring a guest?
Well, I guess it'll be for the top donor and their plus one.
Their plus
whoever
one
that would be.
You're not going to make them go alone.
No.
Okay.
No, and then they
all
get
right.
to go out and hang out
So
with us.
basically, you get 2 great meals at a great St. Louis eatery with the legendary Tony Twist
Yep.
and you.
And that's right.
That's kind of
And me.
it's kind of an add-on. I'm not sure it's a good add-on. But I just want to hear Tony. I just want to hear Tony's.
I know
stories.
you do. I know, Dan Buck. So when you win, then that'll be fine. We'll be doing well.
That's awesome.
Here's the other thing. I've been promoting this as sort of a bourbon basket,
Yeah.
but by the time the winner,
It's like a liquor store. It's not a bourbon basket.
the winner who gets this basket of I've been highlighting the bourbon because that's what I like, is basically going to be able to stock a bar. Can I just tell you that?
That's absolutely
My
the
friends at Lore Wine and Spirits, this is the list of things they donated to me yesterday.
Folks, it's an entire page of liquor.
$900 retail value. There's Gunlock Bunshu wine. There's Green River bourbon. There's 4 Roses, 5 bottles of 4 Roses, 4 bottles of Green River, 3 bottles of Devil's River, 5 quart jars of Sugarland Appalachian apple pie moonshine.
Oh my gosh!
With 5 different flavors: apple pie. What is this?
Gotta have some peanut butter.
Cream,
Oh my!
Orange Dream, Ryder Cup cherry, It just goes on and on.
Sugarlands is a sponsor of Dashers, and we serve that stuff. It is so good.
5 more bottles
good
of blue Chair Bay Spice rum as well.
Man.
So you're getting the rum, you're getting the vodka, you're getting the bourbon. I mean, it's just going to be great. It's going to be a great package for whoever wins it. You'll be able to stock your bar, and you won't have to buy anything for a long time. Let's put it that way.
Man,
so.
Steve and Scott and everybody down there, Lord, just awesome people.
Oh, I agree.
Awesome
Absolutely.
People.
We
That's
appreciate
great.
what they do, and Bob and all of them.
Yeah.
So please donate if you can. If you're watching on social media, text responder to 33100. Again, all of the money, none of it comes to us. It's going straight to a charity website and then straight into the coffers of Responder Rescue when this is over with. So thanks to everybody for their charity, and we're going to talk more about it throughout the morning. But buy until it hurts, and the winner is going to get dinner with Tony Twist.
The most generous person.
And the folks from Responder Rescue.
So even if I can go double down now, right? So if somebody's made $20, $30 of ticket purchases, they can go in and up that ante a little bit to try to win the Tony Twist.
I have an
dinner.
idea what the ballpark was based on some donations last year, but I don't want to spoil it for people.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil
I want
it.
you to spend what you can afford to spend, knowing all the money's going for a great cause. And the winner, the top goal getter, whether they win the raffle prizes or not, is going to get that dinner. So thank you for that. Excited that we were able to confirm those details, and thank you, Mr. Tony Twist, for agreeing to do that.
That's right.
Ought to be fun. Ought to be a lot of fun. All right, I tell you what, Ethan, let's go ahead and get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
And I commend the president for responding to real concerns that the voters have. And by reducing the tariffs, you should see the prices of each of those listed on the screen going down.
Yeah, how about that? There was Ted Cruz yesterday. Did you hear the suggestion that he may be running for president?
I did not
in
hear
2028.
that.
Well, I mean, one outlet was reporting it, and then the president responded to it later. I'll let you hear that coming up here in a minute.
One night I called Barrett. I go, buddy, what did you actually say? And he goes, it was something so polite. I almost wouldn't even get it right, but congratulations and best of luck to you, or something like that. Something very respectful.
Remember after the inauguration, Barron Trump walks up to Joe Biden.
Whispers something to him.
Says something to him. All the lip readers were going nuts. Everybody thought he told him to blank off or something like that. And Eric Trump's like, no, he's the most polite kid I know. Even if he would have thought it, he never would have said it. And this is what he told me he said. Congratulations. All that speculation just because they hate Trump. Yeah. Period.
The average family real income, median income, since Trump came in office in January, is up by $1,200. Where's the affordability crisis if people have $1,200 more after tax, after inflation income than they did before? These are solid numbers.
Yeah, that's Steve Moore, who I put a great deal of credibility in, talking about the affordability word, the affordability crisis, as the media has taken to calling it these days, which is the Biden affordability problem, because he's the one that drove all the prices up to begin with.
Some news this morning from an Axios report that Senator Ted Cruz was laying the groundwork for a potential 2028 presidential run. Could I get your reaction to, could you see yourself supporting?
Well, he's a friend of mine. I mean, I haven't spoken to him about it. It's a little early. I'm not that surprised to hear that.
No. He's like, yeah, I ran against him once before. It worked out pretty well. Where am I right now? In the Oval Office.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised that Ted would throw his hat in the ring, but I just don't see how Vance doesn't get that nomination. I just don't. You can speculate all you want, and people also talking about Rubio and things. I just think he's proven himself worthy, loyal, and extremely good on both the international and national stage.
Very impressive.
He's young. He's going to relate to younger voters, certainly. I just think JD's the nominee. There should be primaries.
Will be.
We should get some primary challenges out of it. But at the end of the day, I just think the American people, and those especially who voted for Donald Trump, will like J.D. Vance a lot.
I think they're all buddies now, And then after the midterms,
the swords are going to come out. The swords will come out.
They will,
Yep.
because I think Kristi Noem will run for president.
Really?
Unless there's some promise on behalf of Marco Rubio or J.D. Vance that she'll be the vice presidential nominee. I think Marco Rubio runs for president. Ted Cruz, not surprised to see that at all. Maybe Pam Bondi would be a candidate.
And we got a governor in Florida who's still
Ron DeSantis has still got his eyes on that
yeah.
thing. So, yeah, there's lots of good choices out there. What a bench.
I mean, the bench
compared to the Democrats.
bench is so deep. I mean, literally, because you could throw Donald in there. You could throw. I mean, there's a lot of people in the Republican camp that are capable. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't say are all electable, but they're all extremely capable, bright, well-versed, understand what the job would entail. I think, it's so nice to know that we've got probably 8 qualified people. I even think Josh Hawley's name could surface.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No. As someone that they might urge to at least start getting into the cabinet, start getting into even a potential vice president. He, too, is extremely sharp.
Who knows? Maybe Eric Schmidt. Schmidt's done a great job since he's gotten up there.
I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
The boy from Bridgeton, as he likes to say, might maybe he throws his name in the hat there. Just to see what the support is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, quick break here. We'll get to Dan's segment at the bottom of the hour. And surprisingly, if you're listening early this morning, here's your other bonus. Besides getting that early news on the new ATF raffle prize, you're going to get a chance at some Guns N' Hoses tickets. Stay tuned.
Can I get some coffee?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular upon bird singing out, yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we've got wet roadways this morning and lightning all over the place. I just posted on X kind of what you're facing on the roads at Susan6768. Now, on the roads this morning, we've got wet roadways. It's still raining in parts of the area. It's kind of curved right by 6440 and 141 to down south in the South County area of 55. And that's what we're dealing with. At this hour, we look fine. We just had a report of debris northbound 55 north of Rivas Barracks, so take care through there. But it's nearly impossible to see. It's just dark and rainy. So just take care. And for the most part, we look good. And that's on the Missouri and Illinois sides both. Just be careful this morning. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
All right, time to talk about Grasser Electric and all that they can do for your house, because you've got a situation right now. Of course, if you've got an electric switch or a light switch or a plug that is not working properly, maybe it trips the breaker all the time, you can't figure out why, chances are you're overloading it. A lot of these homes were built 40, 30, 40, 50 years ago. The demand on your electric was a lot less. Now you've got multiple things plugged into it. Maybe it's a 15 amp fuse. It needs to be upgraded to a 20. Don't try to get in that electrical box and do it yourself. That is a recipe for disaster. You need to let the folks who know what they're doing come over and take care of that. And I'm talking about they can get it done in a matter of minutes. I mean, it's just it's quick. They'll review your panel and make sure it's in great shape, because that's a fire hazard, and nobody's got time for that. So reach out to Grasser. Tell them you heard Marc Cox bragging about it. Wish him a happy 50th birthday. They've been in business serving people in the sound of my voice for 50 years now. That's fantastic. Just call 636-441-5200. That's 441-5200, or online at grasserelectric.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands, or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Tony LaRussa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
At Hardee's, every Tuesday is now Tender Bender Tuesday. Right now, download the Hardee's app and join My Rewards. Buy 3 hand-breaded chicken tenders, get 3 free. It's Tender Bender BOGO. Every Tuesday now through June 2026. This Tuesday, get 3 tenders, free. Next Tuesday, get them free. The Tuesday after that, you guessed it, free. Buy 3 tenders, get 3 free. Another great benefit for My Rewards members. Only at Hardee's. Registration and app required. Available for limited time at participating restaurants. See app for terms.
Marc Cox is St. Louis conservative.
If you're feeding a person a crap sandwich with a smile, it's still a crap sandwich.
Yeah, very true. You know, we watched, my wife got back in town Sunday, and we watched Landman. We watched the first episode of the new season of Landman.
Is it a good series?
Well, we loved the series so far.
Right.
I was a little disappointed with the first episode.
I'll say, don't spoil it. I haven't got.
Don't spoil it.
I'm not gonna spoil it.
Okay.
What's his name who produces this series and did Yellowstone and all
Taylor
that stuff?
Sheridan.
Sheridan he's just such an egomaniac, and like he just carries some things too far in some of these scenes, like in Yellowstone, where Beth Dutton had to go down to his ranch in Texas, and she walks in on him, him because he put himself in his own show, playing a game of strip poker with a bunch of women and trying to force Beth to take part in it. Like, there's just some sick and twisted stuff that Taylor Sheridan ought to just stay away from.
Yeah, it's like you don't need it to keep the series
It's just
vibrant.
unnecessary.
Yep.
There's some subject matter in this one that's probably that if he had just joked about it and moved on, might have been funny, but then sometimes it just gets carried too far. But I mean, I'm still looking forward to the season. I'm not going to stop watching it because I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for the darn thing to come back.
And what season is it? How many
season
seasons?
2.
It's only season 2. Okay.
Yes.
I want Ozark to come back. Did you see Ozark?
Yeah, that was a great show.
Oh my gosh!
The thing I loved about Ozark was the compressed timeline. Like, they're in Ozark, Lake of the Ozarks, and they say they've got to make a quick trip to Chicago, and it seems like an hour later they're in Chicago. And we all know that's a 7-hour drive, right?
Yeah,
at least.
No, it was a great show. Just so many crazy twists you didn't see coming. And, and I'm pretty good at like predicting shows.
Yeah.
Like my wife hates watching shows and because like, here's what's going to happen. That show, I could never predict what was going to happen. It was
crazy.
Amazing.
That was a crazy show. Love that show. Well, let me give a shout out. Dan, you know what time of year it is if you have a senior in high school? It's college visit time.
Oh, yeah. I know.
And my baby is in the car this morning driving to the airport.
Okay.
Taking a college visit this week. So I'm
you going to share where she's looking or no?
I'm just going to say somewhere in the great state of Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of choices.
I know.
That narrows
big
it down
schools.
to like nothing.
I know. Shoot, near Dallas. But
That's right.
I hope she has a good trip and best of luck, honey.
When she visited in Louisville?
It's a fun
She already visited Loserville, and it was they're a bunch of losers. Let me say that.
Didn't they beat some Wildcat team last past
All right,
weekend?
cut the mic. We got to go to a break. We'll be back in a minute.
Surprise! Surprise! You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
This is the time to find out the possibilities of getting rid of all of that debt. Come on, we're right up against the holidays here. You know you're going to spend a ton of money on gifts. If you're already overextended on your credit cards, you're just going to be adding to your nightmare. Don't do that. Call Golden Oak Lending today. Tell them you want to look at a cash-out refinance. If you're a homeowner, you've got that equity built up, you can pay off $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in short-term interest at 30%. Get rid of that. You're making a $1,000 payment a month and keep that money in your pocket. And then refinance at a low rate with Golden Oak Lending. They're at 4.5% right now at Golden Oak Lending. You can use that for a cash refinance, or if you're buying a new home right now, 4.5% on a 15-year fixed FHA loan with a 5.442 APR, 20% equity and qualified credit, and additional terms apply. Call 314-567-GOLD or goldenoaklending.com, NMLS number 114937.
The Fox Business Report.
Home Depot reports earnings this morning. Former Home Depot CEO Bob Nardelli is confident that the company is picking up more home improvement professionals and homeowners.
I'd be surprised if Ted Decker and the team at Home Depot don't deliver a very strong number, certainly reaching the consensus number of about $3.80 some cents. Ted has made two very, very strong strategic acquisitions this year to further grow his penetration and presence with the pro customer customer along with the consumer. So I think they're in great position. I'll be surprised if they don't hit their number.
Also reporting today, buy now, pay later service Klarna Group and Medtronic. And the National Association of Home Builders reports its housing market index for November. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo. Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we've got visible lightning this morning, wet roadways, rain still in the area, and an accident just reported 67 at Montauk Drive. That was reported to be in the northbound lanes, an Elantra versus an SUV. And we had a report of debris in the roadway, northbound 55, a little bit past Revis Barracks. Watch for that in the left lane, and it's pretty dark out there in general. Now, we've got light traffic at this hour. You just have to watch your speed on these wet roadways. And we're quiet on the Missouri and Illinois sides. This report brought to you by the awesome people at the Diamond Shop. The Diamond Shop, making St. Louis sparkle for over 100 years. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
I was sitting there last night at my daughter's house, actually listening to the rain pound on the roof outside. They got quite a downpour out in the O'Fallon area when I was out last night. So if you're one of those people that dreads that sound because you know there's a good chance you're going to get water somewhere leaking into your house, you need to call Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repairs today. Call them and get the work scheduled. Putting it off is just going to lead to nightmares and sleepless nights and all of that that you don't have to hassle with. Just call 314-227-9636. Matt will get out there and take care of it. He's the guy. He comes to your house personally. He takes a look at the problem. He tells you what's wrong. He tells you how to fix it. He's not going to upsell you on things you don't need. Just reach out to him. He can waterproof. He can fix your sump pump or put one in if that's what needs to be done. Drain tiles can be done as well. Structural problems can be dealt with. And at the end of it all, you get a lifetime warranty. That's what I love about it. Peace of mind, taken care of, and you're working with a local guy who's a family man. I like Matt a lot. I've known him for a while now, and this is his local family-owned company. It's HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com, 314-227-9636.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25-plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
If you're trying to sell your home, there's only one group of agents in town I trust, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system, options, and strategies to connect you to the best qualified buyers. 314-336-1991. Check out thegelmanteam.com.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need while they're also doing all those things that you don't want to have to think about, that you don't want to have to worry about. They're always doing that in the background for you.
Don't wait for your next IT crisis. If your business depends on technology, you need a partner that's got your back. Contact ThrottleNet.com to get a free IT evaluation and see how we can support your IT everything.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Midwest Made. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative. Buck don't give a f.
It's Tuesday, which means we're going to be dropping some truth bombs today from social media. You know, truth isn't always it isn't always popular.
No,
right?
Not comfortable sometimes.
That's right. Not always easy. But and I think it's because it challenges our common sense, right? Our common sense knows when we're hearing the truth, but we just, for whatever reason, deny it. And I think it's because truth usually exposes some kind of an inner weakness or maybe a false belief we've been clinging on to. But, which is really in and of itself, it's denial, right? It's self-preservation that keeps us from accepting the truth as we hear it. But today's social media warrior, man, she brings the truth by the truckload on her segment. She posts about 3 to 4 times a week, and they're short snippets, usually 45 seconds to a minute. And they're just insightful truth bombs in these posts. They're short, but they're spot on. Often they drive towards practical things you can put into your life. The 2 snippets I grabbed for today's show is this practice of parent blaming that you see a lot now among these Gen Zers and some of the millennials. They love to do this, right? All of their problems in their life are caused by the way in which they were raised by their parents, right? It's always the parents' fault. Well, this gal, her name is Tanya Kazal, and I will spell her last name for you in a little bit. But Tanya Kazal is a best-selling author, and she has about 230,000 followers on X. But I'm going to share 2 of her recent posts where she explains why blaming mom and dad for your tough life isn't fair, and it isn't productive either. So here's Tanya Kazal with today's Truth Bomb Tuesday.
Our parents didn't have the luxury of finding themselves. They didn't have the coaches or podcasts telling them to regulate their nervous system. They had bills, babies in pain, and they still showed up. And they held families together while carrying pain that they never got to name. They didn't heal with therapy trends. They healed through faith, through feeding their families, through doing what needed to be done. And adult kids now look back and criticize their emotional intelligence, forgetting that generation built the foundation that everyone now stands on. They didn't get to rest. You do because of them.
Yeah, that's right. So that's it. That's her thought for the day. And I tell you, I've shared her podcast with my 32-year-old daughter, and she loves her.
How old is this woman?
She's probably,
I think she's
38, 40, somewhere in that range.
Around 40,
yeah,
ballpark.
Young mom.
So she's really talking about our generation.
Yeah. Yeah, she's talking about you and me. Yeah, because we raised her generation.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of these people in that Gen X, Gen Z, millennial stage that I think are actually being counseled, right? That we were the problem, that their upbringing is why they have anxiety.
Right.
That the upbringing is why. This next clip I'm going to play by, I have 2 of them. This clip more addresses how to get rid of the blame and take ownership of some of your issues, all right? This is another great clip. This was more recent. She did this one about a week ago. Let's listen to this one. Go ahead.
Villainizing your parents will never heal you, because you can call it inner child work or protecting your peace. But if your healing requires making your parents the villain, all you're doing is clutching to that pain and anger. You're not freeing yourself by rewriting history to make them the monsters. You're just keeping the story alive so that you never have to grow past it. Because once you stop blaming them, you lose your excuse and you're forced to grow. And growth is not always easy. You have to face yourself. The parts of you that yell the way they did, react the way they did, avoid the way they did, shut down the way they did, speak the way you did, all of it. That's the real work. And most people would rather stay angry or stuck than face the mirror. You cannot heal while holding someone else hostage in your story. Forgiveness and grace doesn't make them right. It just releases you from needing them to be wrong.
Oh, man. That's a truth bomb on a Truth Bomb Tuesday. Just take ownership of it. Don't look for somebody else to blame. It's just so spot on. Her advice every single day I listen to her, I'm like, oh, she nailed it again.
We're a victimization society these days. Everybody, whatever fault they have, had to be somebody else's to blame. Somebody else has to be to blame for whatever's happened to them.
Yeah.
And I think back to my parents and how they were raised. I mean, my parents would have been born just after the Depression, so they weren't really children of the Depression, but just coming out of it, lived through World War II, and you got to think self-reliance was just how they were raised.
That's right.
And these days, I mean, my dad left home at the day he turned 18 years old. He packed his crap and he moved from Kentucky to Ohio to get a job at a steel mill where he worked for the next 40 years. It was a different type of responsibility. The fact that somebody's conditioned children in one and a half generations now to suddenly blame everybody else for what's wrong in their life, it's a big problem that we face moving forward. I'm glad she's addressing it.
Well, and I think a lot of people like to look at our generation and even our parents' generation as emotionless, or that they were not emotionally connected to their children or to their own life, right? That they just went through life, went through the motions, worked hard, never were really in touch with their emotions. I think that is such bullcrap. I mean, and the reason I think it's bullcrap is that I knew my mom loved me, but she worked hard. She raised 5 kids on her own. I didn't need, she raised us not to need coddling, not to need constant praise and constant, I mean, she loved us unconditionally by how she, God, I don't even know how to phrase it, by how she communicated to us.
Yes.
Right? She showed up at every ball game. I would be playing college baseball in Kansas or Oklahoma or you know, down in Arkansas somewhere, and my mom would drive up. And she'd go, well, it's kind of in the neighborhood. I'd be like, you were not in the neighborhood. But she never made us the focus. She didn't make our sports the focus. She said, you own whatever you do, and you do it good. You can either have excuses or you can have experiences. And don't be the kid who makes excuses. That's not tough love. She loved me immensely, but she let me live my life, and I had to deal with the consequences of those decisions. Didn't coddle me, didn't tell me what to do, didn't tell me, you know, the answer to everything. And I think that generation, that's what they did.
You mean you haven't found a therapist yet to blame her for some of that, Dan?
Right. So if you want some good truth bombs, I'll tell you her name. And you're going to have to spell it for you because her last name is a doozy. But it's Tanya, Tania, Tanya Khazal, Khazal. Khazal.
Okay. All right.
But I truly recommend you going out there. I found her on Facebook. I think she does have an X account too. But she is a rock star.
And she's an author, you said?
She is. She's
Written
a best-selling author. She's an author and a counselor. But her counseling is in nice, edibles, bite-sized pieces. They're only 35 seconds to a minute long. She never goes on long rants, which is also good for the millennial and Gen Zers who seem to have shorter attention spans.
Yep. So. Amen. That's something, I'm telling you. Hey, by the way, did you read where yet another foreign illegal foreigner was caught driving a truck with a CDL? This time it wasn't in California. So this problem is nationwide in blue states.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It wasn't in California. It was in a different blue state. And we're going to talk about that when we come back here in just a couple of minutes. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Good morning. We've got wet roadways out there this morning and a lot of visible lightning. So you just have to take it easy. We had an accident reported 67 at Montauk Drive. That would be in the northbound lanes. Light enough traffic at this hour that we're okay. Eastbound 70 still looks good, 6440. Northbound 55 has really been getting some rain, but at this hour it's okay. And we're fine on the Illinois side as well. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Sponsored by Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
All right, our friends at Air Comfort Service, listen, you have a choice when it comes to heating and air conditioning repair, and I'm telling you, you got to go to Air Comfort because of what they do for the community, right? You can pick anyone or you could pick the best. I think that's Air Comfort, and here's why. Like for Veterans Day, for example, what do? They give back to veterans all year long, not just the month of November, because they're huge supporters of the Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. It costs a ton of money for them to take those veterans to D.C. all the time. Corey and the team at Air Comfort Service are there for them, and they help them out, and they make sure that they've got the money they need. They've flown over 113 missions now, honoring more than 2,500 local vets. So when you need a heating system check, who are you going to call? You're going to call Air Comfort Service and let them come out and get that taken care of. They're going to get it checked, get it running properly. Join the preferred partner plan like I have. You'll get the same great deal I do. It's $19 a month. You get discounts on diagnostic calls. You get regularly scheduled checkups twice a year. You get discounts on new equipment and priority service. It's that simple. They've also got some carrier cool cash rebates right now up to $2,100. Here's the phone number. 314-513-0091, 314-513-0091, or aircomfortservice.com.
Visit 971talk.com/events and enjoy Trans-Siberian Orchestra, a Christmas tradition at Enterprise Center December 23rd. A portion of the proceeds benefits Siteman Kids at St. Louis Children's Hospital. Visit 971talk.com.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They're in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, you know what that means. We're giving away some tickets for Guns and Hoses. You get a chance to join us over at Enterprise Center next Wednesday night, the night before Thanksgiving. It is always a party as the firefighters and the police officers square off in the boxing ring. If you've never been to one of these like big matches that you've wanted to go to in Vegas that you've always heard about, this is very much like that. Down on the floor, and it's just, I mean, they're slugging it out, and all of the money is eventually going to go to Backstoppers. Love what they do down there. We're going to give away a pair of tickets every day this week, and you need to buy yours soon if you don't win, because it's going to sell out. It always sells out. How about caller number 10 at 314-241-9797? 314-241-9797. I was telling Dan that my role in this year is still what I would professionally refer to as undefined.
Undefined.
I thought I knew what I was going to be doing, but they've shifted on me a little bit, and they told me I needed to go rent a tuxedo.
How'd that go?
Well, I've got a tuxedo. I
Yeah.
own one because years ago when I worked at Channel 4, when we used to have to go do public appearances.
And all those Emmys you've won, you had to go to the Emmy Awards.
But it just helped. Instead of renting one for however much it was 30 years ago, 20 years ago, I finally just went out and bought one. But it's 20 years old, right? And I'm thinking it's going to look dated because it's fashion from 20 years ago.
Forget the dated. You're not getting those pants buckled. You know that.
They're adjustable, Dan. Come on. Dan says to me yesterday, what'd you say when the guy was measuring you? Hey, that's not my size.
Yeah, like you're got a bad tape measure or something. That can't be my waist size.
Dude, I want you to put me in that slim Vera Wang over there, please.
Yeah, right.
And I did. They fit me in one of the slim Vera Wang tuxedos, so I'll be looking sharp.
Dude, looking good. I assume black, kind of traditional. Did you go traditional?
Oh, I did go traditional.
Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
No crazy colors. No, you're gonna go.
I got to get me some Spanx. I know that, but other than that, I'll be fine.
How about tie? You got to have the match.
I got the bow tie.
Yeah,
and I got a white kerchief to match the shirt.
Okay,
the white shirt. But yeah,
you'll be looking dapper.
I'm telling you. I always hate those leather. He said, "You want the like the patent leather, the shiny." The shoes, I'm like, no. Give me the matte look if you've got that.
Are they going to make you go up on the ring and announce from the ring?
I don't know. I have a Zoom call with them on Wednesday to find out more details, but I'm looking forward to it. Of course, a portion of what they do down there now, if you've never been before, and congratulations to our winner. It looks like we've got a winner here on the line.
Awesome.
Part of what they do is there are a series of matches before Channel 2 starts broadcasting the show. That starts at 7, but the boxing matches start around 5, I believe, 5 or 5:30. So there are a number of matches on the undercard, and then they have 5 or 6 that they actually do during the TV show. I don't know if it's 5 or 6. May not be that many. And I don't know which portion of that I'm going to be involved in. I'll find out Wednesday, but it should be a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
They kind of go Golden Glove rules, right? It's like 3 rounds, right?
Yeah.
3 rounds,
Yeah,
2
3
minutes
rounds.
per round. So what I love about it is, yes, they're amateurs, but these folks train all year long. In some cases, they've been boxing 4 years, but they get after it. I mean, these guys are there to win for the police, for the firefighters, and there is a healthy competition going on. And you get to that 3rd round, those final 2 minutes, they're usually wiped out because they're amateurs. They're not
True.
They just go. It becomes a slugfest. Like the last 1 minute of the fight is just unlike anything you see. They just get after it. The place is going crazy. It is one of the most fun charity events you'll ever attend.
Did you ever box, Dan?
I did a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah, my dad was a Gold Glove champ. So
No kidding.
We had no choice.
Wow.
to box growing up. So yeah, learn very, very young. And being the youngest of 5, I was constantly boxing.
A scrapper.
My older brothers. Yeah, my brother used to bet on me. He'd bring his friends who were my size into the basement and make me fight them and put money on me that they couldn't knock me out.
I boxed once.
You did?
I'm in a fraternity council boxing, University of Kentucky. And they're like, hey, anybody want to do this? I'm like, yeah, that sounds like fun. I was in my peak physical condition. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Nothing to it, right? And so I trained a little bit, and I boxed a few rounds with some people, and then they submitted the names, right? Well, somehow at 201 pounds, I was just over the heavyweight division. Heavyweight was 200 and up. Like anything above 200 was heavyweight. So I barely made the cut. A bunch of the other fraternities didn't enter contestants in that
division.
Okay. So I won my first 2 rounds by default. So suddenly I'm in the championship round, having never boxed a full round in my life. And I get in the round, and I get in there. I've got a yellow tank top on,
feeling good about yourself,
feeling good, feeling cocky. I'm going to kill this guy, Dad. And I look across the ring, and the guy on the other side was about 6'3", and he was a scholarship wrestler for the University of Kentucky. No. Probably had 3 or 4 inches in reach on me, had these really long arms.
Yeah, muscles coming out of his ears.
Okay, well, that's okay. I'm tough. I'm tough, right? We make it through the first round, and apparently he told a friend later, I didn't know him, but he knew a friend of mine, that he was going to take it easy on me, but that at some point near the end of the first round, I landed a rib punch, and I hurt him. Second round, he broke my nose. And it was over with. Like first, second punch,
game over.
Gone.
You had headgear on, right? You did have headgear on?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest with you. The end of my boxing career. You don't box when you have a Roman nose like this.
That's right.
Trust me. All right, we'll be back. Eben Brown, John Lamping, next hour. Stay tuned.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Dad, that's what Grandpa Rip always said.
That's right. 50 years ago, Grandpa started Grasser, and whenever a customer called, he'd smile and say, "Hey, it's good to see you."
Hey, it's good to see you.
It was his way of treating people like neighbors, not numbers. That's why we still say it today.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeServices.com.
Hey, it's good to see you.
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com and join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, healthfromwithinstl.com.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com. Or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
A House vote is expected today on the Epstein files. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and President Trump says he supports the resolution to compel his Justice Department to turn over more files for the investigation into the late Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking scheme involving underage girls. And the president urges Republicans to vote in favor, saying it's a problem for Democrats.
Some of the people that we mentioned are being looked at very seriously for their relationship to Jeffrey Epstein. But they were with him all the time. I wasn't at all.
Former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, who was also mentioned in Epstein emails, he says he's stepping back from his public roles. Summers saying in part, "I am deeply ashamed of my actions and recognize the pain they have caused. The president has called the Justice Department to investigate Summers along with other prominent figures for their ties to Epstein.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. Later today, President Trump will host Saudi Arabia's leader.
Saudi Arabian flags are flying alongside the U.S. and D.C. flags down Pennsylvania Avenue ahead of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's arrival here. While not technically a state visit, 2 days of meetings with cabinet officials and business leaders are planned, and the president is hosting the Crown Prince at a black-tie dinner tonight.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The new Trump administration crackdown on illegal immigration continues in North Carolina. There have been well over 100 arrests in Charlotte targeting those with criminal records, and Raleigh's mayor says federal agents are expected today in the capital city as well, as a county judge in Tennessee attempts to block a Trump crime crackdown in Memphis.
At least 150 National Guard troops deployed by Governor Bill Lee are in Memphis, supporting a multi-agency federal task force sent in by President Trump to address the city's high crime rate, although the police department says that's at a 25-year low. Democrats in state and local government sued, and a judge agrees. Governor Lee overstepped his constitutional authority, deploying the Guard for civil unrest without the approval of state lawmakers.
That's Fox's Chris Foster. The judge put the order on hold for 5 days to allow for an appeal. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
497.1 FM Talk. I'm Dan Buck. It is 6:03 and we've got 52 degrees and more rain is on the way. A third student has been detained by Lake St. Louis police after a homemade bomb exploded in Lake St. Louis outside the home of a school official. The incident occurred this past Saturday evening when police officers were called to a subdivision off Highway N in Lake St. Louis. The 2 explosions were captured on surveillance cameras, and while no one was injured, the home did sustain damage, according to police. Following the explosion, authorities said remnants belonging to an improvised bomb were seized, and 3 teenagers have been placed in juvenile detention. Now, a 4th suspect is believed to be an adult. He is still being sought in the case. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department is continuing their effort to crack down on reckless and illegal driving in the city. Over the past week, police arrested multiple drivers illegally operating mini bikes. Additionally, all 6 of those loud mini bikes were seized by law enforcement. In a social media post, St. Louis police wrote, "We've warned you before, use it, lose it." 16 building trades in the St. Louis area are forming a network of support to focus on the mental health of workers. The motivation to join forces is based on staggering stats. Construction workers had the 2nd highest suicide rate of any industry, behind mining, and substance abuse is twice as common as it is among the general public. Overdose deaths are also occurring 18 times more often than job-related fatalities. In sports, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys whooped up on the Raiders 33-16. Tonight, the Blues get back at it. They're in Toronto to face the Maple Leafs. That's your headlines. I'm Dan Buck on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Yikes, we've got wet roadways this morning. We've got rain still falling throughout the area and accidents. Accident eastbound 44 past Gray Summit. Right there by Pacific, that one just coming in, and that's really created a jam behind it. The other serious jam is due to an accident on westbound 70. This one is just past Union, and it looks to me like all lanes may be blocked here temporarily. I'm sure they're just trying to work on it and get that accident out of the way. Sometimes I see a left lane getting by, but boy, is that a jam. Now, eastbound 70 is fine through there. But boy, westbound is not. Now, eastbound 64, wet roadways, so take it easy, but it looks fine at this hour. It's got light traffic on northbound 55. Rain on the Illinois side, of course, as well, but quiet over there, at least at this hour. Watch your speed this morning. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Our temperatures continue to bounce around, and we're going to jump close to 70 this afternoon. Partly sunny skies. There's still a chance of a spot shower, but the overnight rain is basically moving out. Then tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Just kind of gloomy. 47 degrees. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, 61. Then here comes a stronger batch of rain. Periods of rain and some thunderstorms Thursday night, and into Friday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Thanks, Dave. 55 degrees. We do have more rain this morning before clearing out this afternoon. 6:07 is the time, and it's also time for you to go out to the App Store and download that free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
All right, welcome back to the Marc Cox Morning Show. I was a little late getting back in the studio, Dan. Buck in here with us this morning, and of course, Dan gets to work every morning, and he's been making coffee, and I went out to get myself a big cup of it.
Yeah,
because mine was only about half full.
I used the house blend, which you like,
and I was using the pump for the creamer in there.
Yes.
And it caught the lid of my coffee cup as I pulled it away, and I spilled it everywhere.
No.
So I've been spent my entire last 4 minutes cleaning up coffee all over the kitchen.
Did it go all over the sugars and everything too? Because the pumps are
under
right above
them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it soaked them all or not. I cleaned it up to the best of my ability. Sorry about that. I'm a bit of a klutz.
We know who to blame.
If there's a hole in the ground, I'll fall into it. If there's coffee to spill, I'll spill it.
If there's a duck blind to step off of, I will step off of it.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that stunk. But thank you for making the coffee, because at least I could refill my cup, and it's nice and hot. So.
Least I can do.
I appreciate that, my friend. Tell you what, we got Eben Brown coming up. We're going to talk more about a new change in gun laws. Of course, it is 2A Tuesday as well. We'll get to Mark Walters next hour, and I can let him address that as well. But I got a new way of handling guns in Delaware, and how in the world they got this in place despite Supreme Court rulings, I have no idea. This will have to end up in front of the Supreme Court at some point.
You're not going to believe it.
We'll talk to Eben about it.
People are not going to believe that they got this through.
Honestly, it's kind of crazy. And then John Lamping at the bottom of the hour with a couple of issues. Of course, the St. Charles County Executives race. John Patterson, who is the current Speaker of the Missouri House, has already announced that he is running for Senate. So I guess I'm assuming he's termed out in the House. So the logical course down there is that they then find a Senate seat they want, and they run for Senate. And he's already got the governor. He's got a big fundraiser coming up. A lot of bigwigs are already pulling for him to be in the Senate. What does that mean? I mean, I have never successfully gotten John Patterson on this show, despite numerous attempts. Whenever I've tried to get him on, he pushes it off on somebody else in his leadership. That makes me a little suspicious of who John Patterson is. I've only met him once. I've been to Jeff City a couple of times, made it a point to try to go by and meet him. I've only shaken hands with the guy one time. That's before he became Speaker, and he's never agreed to come on the show. I don't know. I have questions. So we'll talk to John Lamping about that. Maybe he knows of him or knows him a little bit better. We'll see about that. And, of course, we got Todd Piro coming up as well at about 7:20 this morning. So there's lots and lots to talk about out there in the world right now, in addition to the Epstein files. I'm so tired of talking about this. But here's what I loved about it is that meme that said, only Donald Trump could now get the Democrats to endorse Jeffrey Epstein. Like they're now they now are coming out in support of releasing all of these files. They claimed they wanted it, but they didn't do it when they were in power. They asked Chuck Schumer about it. He misunderstood the question and said, "There's no excuse." They're like, "Why didn't Biden release the files?" Well, there's no excuse. He didn't. He either spoke the truth or he didn't understand the question. Because there's no reason the Democrats couldn't have released all this 4 years ago. You know, if there was some sort of smoking gun other than Bill Clinton.
Oh, do you understand how many Democratic and probably some Republican donors are on that list?
Hollywood A-listers?
Oh, my gosh. How many times people like Bill Gates was down there? I mean, there's clear evidence that Gates was deeply connected with Epstein. These are people who give millions to these lawmakers, and they've been pushing and pushing. Release it all. Release it all. Wait till if there is any smoking guns, it's going to bury some Democrats.
This is Donald J. Trump in 2015. Had just announced he was going to run for president, was on with a couple of radio hosts, talking about Hillary Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein. In 2015... this is what Donald Trump had to say about Jeffrey Epstein. Listen to this.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. The island was an absolute cesspool. So,
the Clintons are friends
and he's
of
been
yours,
there
right?
for many times.
The Clintons are friends.
Well, I can't say friends, but I know
You're friendly. You know them.
They play at my clubs a lot. I have clubs, and everybody likes to play at my clubs.
Are you saying there's a political problem for her if she runs for president?
It could be a political problem. Look, he could be a political problem. Right now, he's Teflon, and right now, maybe not. But he could end up being a political problem.
Right now, he's Teflon.
Yeah. Back in 2015.
Now, that was prior to his arrest.
Well, he had been arrested in 2005, but this was prior to him being rearrested, I believe, because the date on this was 2015 was the interview. Apparently, Hillary Clinton was running or talking about running for president, and he brought up the fact that Epstein could end up being an issue for them because he knows that Bill Clinton's name's on there a lot. It didn't sound like he had any particular concern about himself. He's the one that banned Epstein from his clubs, and he knew that the island itself was a cesspool, as he referred to it.
Right.
So I don't know what is in there that he's so worried about. If he was, he's now agreed to have it released. There's supposed to be a vote on that today at some point. So we'll see what happens.
How about that clip yesterday? The congresswoman who was talking with Jeffrey Epstein during
texting with him during a hearing. The Democrats
during a hearing to get questions from Epstein to cross-examine the attorney general at the time in 2019. I was like, what? She was texting in real time with Epstein to get information and dirt to help with her cross-examination during the hearing. I'm like, why is that not a bigger story?
And they asked Hakeem Jeffries about that yesterday, and he didn't want to talk about it.
Of course he did.
Of course he didn't want to talk about it because they were trying to get some information out of Epstein all about damaging Trump. That's all it's ever about.
Right.
All right, I need to get to a quick short list here because I'm going to run out of time. Ethan, hit it, please.
The Marc Cox Short List, presented by Rhino Shield.
She's entitled to her opinions. I've said this before. She's a great creature and a creation of the media. If she can't understand that socialism is for morons and she's elected, we're in deep trouble.
Just love that guy.
John Kennedy is the best. If AOC can't understand that socialism is for morons and she's elected to the Senate, we're in deep trouble. Amen.
We've seen masked, heavily armed agents in paramilitary garb driving unmarked cars, targeting American citizens based on their skin color, racially profiling and picking up random people in parking lots and off of our sidewalks.
Yeah. Now add Josh Stein, the governor of North Carolina, to the long list of people to be held responsible when the next ICE agent is targeted with violence because of lies like that he's spewing all over the airwaves.
So if we think there's a problem in Seattle where you have a very, very liberal/communist mayor, but if we think there's going to be a problem, Johnny, can I say we will move? I don't think you're going to have this problem, but we're going to move the event to some place where it's going to be appreciated.
Threatening to move the World Cup from Seattle because they just elected a communist mayor up there, and he's not sure they can guarantee safety and a bunch of other things. I love that he's willing to stand up and challenge these crazies, because that's exactly what they are.
DHS says ICE arrested 31-year-old Afor Bazarov on November 9th in Kansas. The agency says Bazarov entered the United States illegally in February 2023. He was arrested by Border Patrol and then released.
And then he went out in Pennsylvania and got a commercial driver's license. An illegal, arrested, released back into the country, and they gave him a commercial driver's license. And now he's been arrested for that in Pennsylvania, and people are asking questions up there to Shapiro and the others. How did this happen?
There's
how
thousands.
do you let this get through the system?
Yeah, there's thousands. I mean, there's not a doubt in my mind. Thousands of illegals have driver's license, including CDL licenses. And these states that are giving these out without proper documentation need to be held accountable. Every time they kill somebody, that state should have to be paying through the nose.
Maybe that governor.
Yeah. Oh, like make it personal.
Where does the buck stop? No pun intended.
I think they're probably exempt from prosecution.
I know.
But the
still.
state's not. The state can be sued for giving away. But see, they don't care if tax dollars, and taxpayer dollars go to some individual, right? It's not their money. So they're just going to continue these woke policies. And it's a shame. I mean, to think there are people out there with 10,000-pound tractor trailers who are not licensed, can't speak English, don't know the rules of the road, don't have any accountability. It's unbelievable.
It really is unbelievable. Coming up, we'll get to Eben Brown. He'll talk about something else that's unbelievable, what the state of Delaware has just instituted when it comes to gun rules. We'll be back in just a minute.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Wet roadways this morning. Rain still falling throughout the area. Lightning. You really do need to take it easy. Accident westbound 70 past Union. The 3 left lanes are blocked and traffic is really jammed through there. There was an accident eastbound 6440 approaching Timberlake Manor. Watch for that one in the right lane. We've got volume on northbound 55 appearing, especially in the right lanes at 270 and then again at Bayless in the construction zone. On the Illinois side, a jam in both directions. On 64 near Greenmount Road, that mainly due to road work. This report brought to you by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
From now on, if you spring a leak, need a water heater, or have hard water,
thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Jerry Kelly will fix the leak, install the thing, and make that hard water easy. From the company who's got your whole home covered.
JerryKelly.com. Let's get that house in good shape for Thanksgiving, or if you are more worried about the holidays coming up in December, let's focus on that. But right now is when you want to lock in these prices, regardless of when you get the work done, and that's with Zero Res. This is what they're doing for you in November. They will clean 3 rooms of carpeting for you, starting at $139. They'll give you $50 off air duct cleaning as well. Get that scheduled right now, and maybe you want to wait till after Thanksgiving, because if there's any pumpkin pie smeared into the carpeting or whatever, you want to wait till afterwards and get that cleaned up. Just go ahead and get it booked now. They can Zero Res everything. What's the advantage of Zero Res? No harsh chemicals, no soaps like the other guys use to leave behind a residue on your carpeting. They come in, they Zero Resify it, and they leave, and your house is cleaner than ever. They can also, of course, do your air ducts, and you can get a great deal on that right now. All you have to do is call them. Say, listen, I heard Marc Cox talking about this. I want that 97.1 FM Talk special. 314-474-2020. That's 314-474-2020. Or just go online anytime at ZeroResSTL.com.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Lights flickering?
Grasser can fix it.
Breaker keeps tripping?
That's a Grasser job.
Outlet not working?
Grasser makes it right.
Old wiring need a rewire?
Grasser rewires with care.
From little fixes to major fixes.
Even the tricky ones.
We treat your home like our own.
Treat? Did you say treat?
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
I hear from sellers all the time that they fear they have missed out on the selling market. They are so relieved to learn September, October, and November are strong selling months. With low inventory and hopefully lower interest rates, this fall will be a hot one for real estate. I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. You may have heard me say, why pay more than 4 for years? Now it's why pay more than 2, saving you even more money. Call me 314-441-4444. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri, Kansas, and Nevada.
Men, need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy weight gain or issues in the bedroom? Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Live, local, and conservative. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show. 97.1 FM Talk.
Well, fitting that today is 2A Tuesday. We always do a segment on Tuesday mornings at 7:35 called 2A Tuesday, giving you heads up on gun laws or regulations or lawsuits that have been filed across the country on issues like that. And right now, the state of Delaware is grabbing a few headlines because of what a judge is allowing up there. And we've got Eben Brown from Fox News Radio covering that story this morning with more details on it. Eben, what has the judge allowed in Delaware?
Well, the judge is just simply allowing or has allowed a law to take effect. This law was passed by the state legislature and signed by the governor. And it is a law to create a purchasing permit for handgun purchases within Delaware. So if you wish to buy a handgun in Delaware, you must first apply for a permit to make that purchase. And that means you have to be background checked. You have to submit your fingerprints and whatnot, and then wait to be approved. And then you get approved for the purchasing permit. Then you can make the purchase. Coincidentally, in Delaware, you're not required to have a permit or license to own the handgun, nor are you required to have a license or permit for openly carrying one. You need one for concealed carry. But this is a barrier, at least the people who don't like the law are saying, this is a barrier to actually purchasing the firearm to begin with. Not to mention, remember, when you go to purchase one, you're supposed to be background checked anyway,
right,
by federal law. So this is a way to, because if you were to own the firearm in Delaware without ever wanting to carry concealed, you would never need a permit theoretically. Therefore, you wouldn't be submitting your fingerprints. Now, the law would require you to submit your fingerprints just because you wish to buy one.
Now, they do that, something like that in Illinois with their firearm owner's ID card, which every Illinois resident is forced to do with the background check and all that before they can go and purchase a firearm or ammunition or any of that in the state of Illinois. Yeah. And that's been challenged in court. I don't know how long it's going to take before it gets to the Supreme Court. But in Delaware now, so in other words, you have to go through this, but you don't. Is it retroactive? Do you know, like, do current gun owners who already own a gun have to go back and go through this?
The license, again, the permitting is for making the purchase.
A new purchase only.
Right. So you can't, if you already bought the gun 3 years ago, you didn't, you've already made the purchase. So you would essentially, I think, be grandfathered by that. You wouldn't have to go back and ask for a permit for the gun you already bought. I think that would certainly not hold up in court. But this permit law is now being challenged, and the judge that is allowing the law, or has allowed as of last week anyway, to allow the law to take effect, meaning they're not going to enjoin it, but the challenge is ongoing.
And the Second Amendment is not really a gray law. The Second Amendment is not giving us the right to bear arms. It clearly states that the government does not have the authority to infringe upon our rights. I mean, it's not, it was an amendment not written to give a right to citizens. It was a right to keep the government. In this case, this is a total infringement on people's right to bear arms. And
that may bear out in court. But remember this, in order to prove that your rights have been hampered or harmed in court, first, your right has to be hampered in the real world. So you can't always simply say the law has harmed the right and no one yet has been harmed by it. So if you're suing before the law takes effect, and sometimes you do this just to get the docket going. But first, someone has to try to, in this case, someone would have to try to make a purchase without having the permit and being told no. And then they would have cause to sue, saying my rights under the Second Amendment have been harmed. So that's one way of proceeding. So in the meantime, if the law just took effect and the lawsuit was filed in advance of the law taking effect, the judge may be saying here, okay, look, we have to let the law stand because it actually hadn't been used yet. So now it's come onto effect. Now someone can actually proceed with their case saying that this new law has harmed me.
And let me guess, there's a fee.
Of course there's a fee. Of course there's a fee.
Isn't there always?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll bet there is. Evan, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Take care, guys.
All right, we'll see you now. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's not only going to be a fee, it'll probably find a way to annually you have to update it so they can keep getting more fees.
That's exactly
It'll
what
be
it
like
is.
an annual tax. Once they have your information. Now, my question, I didn't get a chance to ask him, does the law specify where this information gets held? In other words, is it held by the state? Is it shared with the feds? Is it, this is very private information. They're fingerprinting you.
Well, and it's the
I'm not a
arrogance.
criminal. Why am I being treated like a criminal simply to exercise a right?
We'll ask Mark Walters that question when we get him up here in the next hour. Yeah, you got to wonder what arrogance on the part of the state to think that somehow they're going to find something in their background check that the FBI or the ATF wouldn't find when they do their background check on you, which is already required. But you have to jump through the hoops twice. Oh, and pay the state a fee. Did I mention that? Interesting. All right, back with John Lamping right after this.
Let Banner Construction show you what a difference James Hardy can make to your home. Banner's exterior design team will show you custom design options to transform your home into the neighborhood showplace. Banner is a preferred James Hardy and Pella Windows specialist. With winter just around the corner, now is the time to think about Pella Windows for energy efficiency and comfort. Call Banner Construction 314-569-1050 to schedule your free in-home consultation or the website bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
All right, I just heard it on the news this morning, so it must be true. Worst 3 days in the market since the tariffs were announced last spring, right? So the market's down 1%, 2%, whatever it's down over the last 3 days. It'll bounce back. I'm not too worried about that. But if you if yesterday was your last day at work and you opened up the 401k the next morning and you saw how much it had dropped, would that have given you stomach problems? That's at the Retirement Advisory Group. That's what they help you deal with. If you will leave your money invested in the market once you're retired, you run the risk of a correction. It happens. Those normally take place. At the Retirement Advisor Group, they teach you how to protect your nest egg and to build your own personalized structured income plan. And they have never lost a dime of their clients' money in the stock market. If it goes up, you can take advantage of it. You're not going to lose money on the downside. Call them today at 314-993-9494. Tell them Mark sent you, or go to retirementkey.com.
For 97.1 FM Talk, I'm Dan Buck. It is 6:30 and 52 degrees. A third student has been detained by Lake St. Louis police after a homemade bomb exploded in Lake St. Louis outside the home of a school official. The incident occurred this past Saturday when police were called to a subdivision off Highway and in Lake St. Louis. The two explosions were captured on surveillance cameras. While no one was injured, the home did sustain damage. Following the explosion, authorities said remnants belonging to an improv bomb was seized and 3 teenagers were placed in juvenile detention. A fourth suspect, believed to be an adult, is still being sought. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police are continuing their efforts in cracking down on reckless and illegal driving in the city. Over the past week, police arrested multiple drivers illegally operating mini bikes in the city. Additionally, all 6 of those mini bikes were seized by law enforcement. And in sports, Monday night, the Cowboys whooped up on the Raiders 33-16. That's your headlines. I'm Dan Buck on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Wet roadways this morning, rain still falling throughout the area, so take it easy. Accident westbound 70, really close to Riverview, and they've had the 3 left lanes blocked. A real jam going behind that. Now, eastbound 70 looks fine from out west into downtown. Southbound 61, though, out west, slow from the Flint Hill area down through 64. 64 eastbound still in good shape. Northbound 270, pockets of moderate volume, 55 through Manchester. 55 slowing in the right lanes especially. Right there at 270 and again in the construction zone. And that would be around Bayless. If you're headed in from Illinois, there is some moderate volume now in pockets headed for and crossing the Poplar Street Bridge. And eastbound 64, jamming at Greenmount Road. Pardon me, that is all due to road work. This report brought to you by The Diamond Shop. The Diamond Shop, making St. Louis sparkle for over 100 years. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Let's dress up the outside of your house this holiday season. How about that? Yeah, I'm not talking Christmas lights. I'm talking about your garage door. Did you know that changing the garage door on the front of your house can change the way the house looks? Let's put it that way. And at Overhead Door Company, they got one of the greatest selections you're ever going to find. They've been at this for a long time. It doesn't matter if you've got a freestanding garage, you got one attached to your house, 2 bays, 3 bays, doesn't matter. They've got garage doors to take care of the issue, and they're fantastic. You should go look at their garage door collection because it's amazing. You can envision what it might look like on your house. You can upload a picture of your own home, and you can pick from their garage doors, and they'll model it on your home. You can get well-insulated doors if that's what you're looking for. The Carriage House collection is beautiful. They've got an impression fiberglass collection, which is going to be a little lighter for you. You name it, they can do it at Overhead Door. They also service whatever door you have. It doesn't matter who installed it, they can service it. So call them at 314-781-5200. Good number to have. Put it on a sticky note, put it by the garage door opener so then when it doesn't work, you know who to call. 314-781-5200 or overheaddoorstlouis.com.
The team at Ricken Financial want to help you make educated and informed decisions about your retirement strategies.
Why not rely on individuals who can optimize your thinking and optimize your plan and optimize all the resources and show you what's all available to be able to make a truly informed decision?
Call Ricken Financial today, 314-207-6211 or online at rickenfinancial.com and join us for Kickin' with the Rickens Sunday at 1 p.m. here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026 with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has 0 outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg, and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Woke radical liberals are screwing up this country, but Congressman Jason Smith is fighting back. He backed one big, beautiful tax cut for working families, ending Social Security taxes for nearly all seniors, and taxes on tips and overtime gone. So call Congressman Jason Smith at 202-225-4404 and thank him for backing working family tax cuts and putting America first. Paid for by American Prosperity Alliance.
Built in the heartland, for the heartland. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. People keep looking to government for the answer, and government's the problem. Government would shut the doors and sneak away for about 3 weeks. We'd never miss him.
Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want?
Always. We've got former Senator John Lamping on the line this morning. John, good Tuesday morning to you.
Mark, Dan, great to be back with you. It's been a while.
Yeah, it seems like it has. That is very true. It's great to have you on this morning. I guess first off, I got a flyer mailed to me yesterday. Somebody sent it to me in a direct message about a John Patterson fundraiser. Apparently, after being a House leader now, he is running for Senate next year, it looks like.
Yeah, it's a very unusual occurrence that the Speaker of the House would then actually enter into the Senate. Most of the time, when a Speaker leaves his office, he easily has seven figures in a campaign account and has an eye towards higher office or just an eye towards doing something else in politics away from going back into the General Assembly. The last person to do this was Ron Richard. And this was in 2010, and Ron was the Speaker of the House, and then he's the only person to ever be both the Speaker of the House and then the President of the Senate. So it's safe to say that Patterson will be the state senator. It's kind of a moderate-ish district, and he'll enter the race with $1.5 million or thereabouts. And I think that he will be the candidate, and he will ultimately prevail given his money advantage.
Well, and the fact that the governor is basically endorsing him by showing up at his campaign kickoff tonight, and some other big names in there as well.
Yeah, this was always my expectation that, and Patterson is a moderate, he's a moderate, like Keogh's a moderate, and that Keogh would not just sit in the governor's mansion and watch the Senate races unfold, that he would be very active in them. He knows the importance of having a Senate that's on the same side as you on certain issues, and I think this will be the first of many. Out here in St. Charles County, I'm represented by Nick Schroer, and he's the lone member of the Freedom Caucus these days. And I know they're trying to add some members, but this won't be a seat where they get it. I do have to say that the governor's decision to come out publicly last week and announce the fact that he intends to pursue the elimination of the income taxes is really a huge win for all of Missouri. And I think on some level, if a very conservative person wanted to go down this path, it might be easier for it to be stopped. But I think that this is one of those things that both the moderates, if the moderate governor wants to eliminate the income tax, we know the conservative General Assembly will follow along.
Well, I was just disappointed that I've never been able to get Patterson on the radio, ever. Despite all of our requests, he's never been on this radio show. He's always pushed me off on one of his underlings, and I found that very disappointing. Not that he's required to be on this show, but if you want to talk to a conservative audience in the greater St. Louis area, you better be. I guess he has no interest in that.
He's a very odd bird. He's not conservative by any definition. I mean, he's not 100% pro-life. He does benefit by the fact that his district is a moderate district. He kind of represents, if it were St. Louis County with a little bit of St. Charles County in it, but mostly St. Louis County, you'd be hard pressed to be super conservative and hold office, and he's not hard pressed at all. He's not super conservative, so I would think that he'd be avoiding your show like the plague.
John, how has he been elevated? As you mentioned, first House Speaker and soon to be Senate, Speaker. How did he ascend as a moderate in a conservative red state? I don't get it.
Speaker of the House is almost always determined by the lobby corps. So you come in, you only have 4 terms as in the House. So you get there as a freshman, and in order for you to fit the timeline of becoming Speaker in your last 2 years, you really have to jump into leadership almost right away, or certainly by your second year. And there are there's 163 House seats, 110, 112 of them are Republican. They're in all different parts of the state, little tiny seats. Each person represents about 35,000 people. And so what happens is the lobby corps, they know every single rep. They'll go down into every little district, and they will support a House rep for their events, and if they're walking in parades, and they'll be whispering in their ear the whole time. And ultimately, that's who chooses the Speaker. And that's why the Speaker usually leaves office with at least $1 million in his campaign account, with no expectation that would come back to the caucus. What happened with Peterson is he'll be able to be a kingmaker in the Senate. So he won't need all that money to win his office, but he'll be able to support a lot of other senators as they run for office. And ultimately, I would expect him to be in leadership pretty quickly in the Senate.
Yeah, it's basically a big slush fund that they leave there with,
Right.
to be honest. So let's talk, John, very quickly about the St. Charles County executives race. It seems to me that with Elman getting back into this race, it's a pretty clear indication they were in panic mode that Bill Eigel might be the next county executive.
Yeah, since we last spoke, Steve Elman's come out, obviously, and he's now running, and he's not in favor of Bill's politics for sure. And on some level, the field will be cleared a little bit. I know Mike Elam has now left the race, but I think he made a mistake in terms of his timing. This gives Bill, a long runway. If Bill goes out and campaigns as hard as he does when he campaigns, and in this instance, he's not running for governor. It's statewide. It's right here in his backyard. He gets to go to bed every night and sleep where he's campaigning. I think that Bill can actually pull us out just by bare knuckles, hard campaigning, just being everywhere all the time. I think if Ailman was a little bit too cute, I think he probably should have waited maybe until the spring. And not that Bill wouldn't have been campaigning hard, but now Bill knows exactly what he has to do, and I think he has more than enough time to do it.
Did you see the article in the Missouri Independent about Eigel's fundraising?
Yeah, that's just someone who's been in office for a long period of time, especially if you run a statewide, to have issues with your campaign account is kind of like, hey, it's a day of the week that ends in Y. It's pretty standard stuff. The press doesn't like Bill, and so anything that Bill does that they don't like is going to be headline news. So no big deal there.
So, John, I had just a quick question regarding gambling. Of course, sports betting opened in the casinos yesterday. December 1st, it goes legal statewide. Is there going to be any level of citizen accountability to the funds that the hundreds of millions they say it's going to generate in new tax dollars, of where and how that money actually gets dispensed? It just seems like in the history of gambling, they just reduce general funds to certain things and nothing really gets increased.
It's a complete money grab. I mean, even like what you're speaking of is the casino boats. That whole thing was supposed to go to education, and so it went into that bucket, and then they just took money out of the general education. Revenue, it's the same thing. Yeah, there's no. It's a money grab. The industry wanted to be here. They make money. They sell it to the consumer or to the voters. It's like I don't know if you're paying close attention, but like all the promises made about the marijuana industry have all fallen way, way short. The industry is not anywhere what it was supposed to be. It's not as robust. There's not as much tax dollars being raised. And what you're finding is more and more incidents of really bad things are happening to especially young people with the legal marijuana industry. I think you're going to see the same thing happen in the gambling industry. We're seeing it at the professional level. In a place like Missouri, it wouldn't shock me they end up having gambling on high school football or something.
Oh,
but we'll see.
Yeah, I would not be surprised either.
You can get a line on anything pretty much these days, right?
Yeah, that CBC slew game,
Yeah.
Well, how long before those players get NIL money, right? So you get paid $25,000 to be a wing back at CBC.
That's
just a matter of time.
It's just a matter of time. Yeah.
All right, John. Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Yep.
Great being with you.
Talk to you soon. John Lamping there, former Missouri senator. He just speaks a lot of bold truth about Missouri politics.
Well,
That's
and
why I love having him
if
on
there's
here.
truly $250,000 or $250 million a year going to be generated,
It won't
in tax,
generate that
no,
much.
of course it won't. But if there was, wouldn't we be able to see a tax reduction on sales tax, income tax, something?
You'd
right?
think the Hancock Amendment would step in there at some point, right?
Yeah. Say, well, wait a minute, you got this new funding.
But that won't happen.
Let's give taxpayers a break here.
It'll oddly end up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Very strange, like it always does. All right. A quick break here. We'll get to in other news. Next hour, Todd Piro, host of Fox and Friends First. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Be careful on these wet roadways this morning. And we've got westbound 70 closed at Riverview due to an accident there. Traffic, of course, is just jammed behind it. And eastbound 70 actually looks pretty good. We had some moderate volume out at Lake St. Louis Boulevard, but then it opens up into downtown. Westbound traffic is the only jam on 70. Now, eastbound 64, moderate volume approaching Lake St. Louis Boulevard in the construction zone. Then it opens up. Moderate volume southbound 270 between Olive and 64. Northbound has slow pockets 55 through Manchester. Northbound 55 slowing in the right lanes at 270 and again at Bayless. There's some moderate volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. Eastbound 64 on the Illinois side jams at Greenmount Road. That is all due to road work. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Sounds kind of like the starting bell to Grandma's house. Or maybe snowbirding. Just remember to stop by before you go. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Oil changes in about 15 minutes. No appointment needed.
All right, so can I just tell you what is really making me stress-free right now? My Christmas lights are up already. Isn't that amazing? To me, it's amazing because every year I stress about how I'm going to put them up there. Last year I put them on one sort of high part of my roof that I could reach with an extension ladder, but of course you fall off that thing. Maybe you end up with broken ribs like I have. I certainly couldn't do it this year anyway, and that's why I called my friend Curtis Carell, who's partnered up with Sergeant Sparkles. If you want the easy way to get Christmas lights on your house, this is how you do it. You call Curtis at 314-222-9529. Let him come out and give you an estimate. They are a roofing company who also puts up Christmas lights. So that means the people on your roof are roofers. They know what they're doing. They know what equipment to use, what kind of shoes you should wear to not damage the roof. If while they're on your roof, they find a little bit of damage of shingle out of place or some caulking needs to be done, they're going to take care of that at no charge because they want to get you through winter. If you need a roof inspection, they can do that while they're there. You can kill two birds with one stone. But at the end of the day, you got your Christmas lights up. They're done. And at the end of the season, they'll come and take them down. The lights are custom made for your house. They're going to wrap them up on a spool and hand them to you. So if you want to hire them again next year, you can, but you're not committed to anything. I love how they're handling this with Carell Roofing and Sergeant Sparkles. You will too. 314-222-9529. Call them today. Tell them you heard Marc Cox bragging about them. Or you can go to their website at CarellRoofingCo.com.
Police versus firefighters in the ring for charity. It's the 38th annual Guns N' Hoses event, the day before Thanksgiving. Catch all the action as we broadcast Guns N' Hoses live on 97.1 FM Talk.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you can find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
What's happening?
Go, you know the thing.
What the hell is going on?
In other news.
I almost feel like we need to have Nicole Murray for this story that I'm about to read to you here, just to get her insight on this as somebody who's still in the dating world, right?
Yes.
So there's a hedge fund billionaire giving dating advice to young men. His name is Bill Ackman. He's actually a pretty major MAGA donor, and he's worried about the dropping rate of people getting married and producing children and all that stuff. And he's like, here's a little dating advice. People seem to be awkward on this these days. But what almost always worked for me was to walk up to a young lady that I was interested in and say, "May I meet you?" That's it. That's his pickup line. Huh. May I meet you? And he argued that it almost always worked, like 90% of the time. And he is getting slammed on social media for boiling this down and making it too simple.
Too quiet.
Like, well,
too easy.
If I had $9.3 billion in the bank, I could meet people too. But
I'd make some friends.
I was about to ask that. Was that before or after the $1 billion?
Well, he claims it's how he would meet women like in his early dating years. So before he was a billionaire, he's like, it was pretty simple. Why is it so difficult now?
I don't know.
But if you had $1 billion, you would be a little more leery of somebody's intentions, right?
I'd hate to say you could buy somebody's love, but you could probably buy somebody's love.
It's like Amazon or Amazon Prime. Look at Bezos. Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but he's getting a little bit of grief online. Yeah, it must be easy for him, kind of blah, blah, blah kind of thing. But I don't know.
I think the best pickup line is 6'7". No. Hey, did you know 6'7" is the word of the year?
Yes.
According to dictionary.com, did you guys read that? So dictionary.com every year picks like the new word of the year, and 6'7" was nominated. Most people don't even know where it derived from.
My teenager drives me nuts with this, and they don't know where it derives from either.
Yeah, so social trends, everybody's out there. People thought it was tied to a 6'7" basketball player. It's not. It goes back to a song, actually.
Yes.
Called Doot Doot was the name of the song. It was a Philadelphia-based rapper named Skrilla who in the song said 6'7", and apparently it
Everybody
has some
started saying it.
Yeah, it has some gang connotations to it. But now it's in grade schools. I know a school teacher who says it drives her nuts. She hears 6'7" like 30 times a day.
Somebody said all these kids saying 6'7" need to learn something about 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think they're onto something.
But the word of the year, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
that's what we have broken ourselves down to. Dictionary.
It's not even a word.
I know, it's not a word. It's a number.
All right. So a New York DoorDash driver is in trouble because they showed up to deliver food, and the customer they were delivering it to had passed out naked in his own home. So when they showed up, they found the guy, the customer passed out on his couch, and took a video of it and shared it apparently. And now he was in underwear, apparently, not completely naked. Or his underwear was around his ankles when he was laying on the floor. And now the driver was arrested last week for taking the video of the person when they arrived at the house.
That's just a bad situation.
My customer requested that the order be left at the front door. When I arrived at their house, their front door was wide open, and they were within eyesight of the front door, laying on the couch, indecently exposed to me, says the DoorDash driver.
Oh.
Who then snapped a picture of it, apparently.
Imagine the creepiness DoorDash drivers see throughout their week.
Not at all.
Thanks.
No, thank you. All right, coming up, we'll get to Todd Piro, host of Fox and Friends first, and our friend Mark Walters for Two-Way Tuesday.
Have you set your appointment up yet to have your furnace checked to make sure you are good and ready to go for this winter? It's really, really a great idea to have it done for your own peace of mind and for your safety also. Definitely check your furnace before you use it. You can go to my website. It's bartinman.com, and we'll have pictures up of what we've seen and what we've seen and found that the homeowners had no clue that this danger existed. Most have no idea what I'm talking about now, but if you went to the website, if you're not going to have me come out or another company come out and check, then you'll know what to look for on your furnace and hot water heater also. So my number, again, it's Bart Inman. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. The easiest number, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com, Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
The Fed just cut interest rates again, and that means now is the time to refinance with Golden Oak Lending. Lower rates mean lower payments, and our customers are saving hundreds every month. Plus, you can make no payments until next year. And if your loan doesn't close, we'll pay for your appraisal. Call 314-567-GOLD today and start saving.
Golden Oak Lending, join my blues.
NMLS number 114937.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
It's a vote President Trump now supports. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats.
And he's urging Republicans to support the push for more documents from the investigation into the late Jeffrey Epstein's underage girls sex trafficking operation. The resolution being voted on today in the House would
compel the release of the Epstein files, saying members of his party have, quote, nothing to hide. House Speaker Mike Johnson agrees.
He's never had anything to hide. He and I had the same concern, that we wanted to ensure that victims of these heinous crimes are completely protected from disclosure.
A discharge petition signed by all House Democrats and some Republicans forced the resolution to the floor.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. Today, President Trump will host Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince at the White House, talking trade and defense. They'll also discuss relations with Israel as the U.S. brokered ceasefire for Gaza remains in place the day after a UN vote.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has posted on X to say he and the State of Israel applaud President Donald Trump and his tireless and devoted team. This after the United Nations Security Council gave its mandate for an international stabilization force for Gaza, passing a resolution endorsing President Trump's peace plan. The vote has been condemned by Hamas, however, which says the stabilization force will not be neutral.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. President Trump's pushing back on Democrats' claims his policies are making things unaffordable and hurting the economy.
In the past 6 months, the price of breakfast items has fallen 14%. Bread prices are down. Dairy prices are down. And the price of eggs has declined 86% since March.
And the president told a gathering of McDonald's executives and franchisees he's trying to bring more costs down, adding,
I'm also one of your all-time most loyal customers. I really am.
Saying he's the first former McDonald's fry cook to become president, referencing his campaign event last year, Making Fries. America's listening to Fox News.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
For 97.1 FM Talk, I'm Dan Buck. It is 7:03, and we've got 52 degrees in downtown St. Louis. A third student has been detained by Lake St. Louis police after a homemade bomb exploded in Lake St. Louis outside the home of a school official. The incident occurred this past Saturday when police officers were called to a subdivision off Highway N in Lake St. Louis. 2 explosions were captured on surveillance cameras, and while no one was injured, the home did sustain damage. Following the explosion, authorities said remnants belonging to an improvised bomb was seized, and 3 teenagers have been placed in juvenile detention. A 4th suspect, believed to be an adult, is still being sought in the case. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police continue their efforts in cracking down on reckless and illegal driving in the city. Over the past week, police arrested multiple drivers illegally operating mini bikes near downtown. Additionally, all 6 of those loud mini bikes were seized by law enforcement. 16 building trades in the St. Louis area are forming a network of support to focus on the mental health of their workers. The motivation to join forces is based on staggering statistics. Construction workers have the 2nd highest suicide rate of any industry, only behind mining. Substance abuse is twice as common as it is among the general public, and overdose deaths occur 18 times more often than job site fatalities. In sports, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys whooped up on the Raiders 33-16. Tonight, the Blues will get back at it. They're in Toronto to face the Maple Leafs. That's your headlines. I'm Dan Buck for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Accident reported on these wet roadways, southbound 170, and that looks like it is south of Page. Traffic is jammed behind it. Now, westbound 70, there was an earlier accident at Riverview, and it's really caused a delay in that area. Well, now we've got a report of another accident, this one near Jennings Station Road. Now, if you are eastbound on 70, or will be here in a few minutes, we still look pretty good from out west into downtown. Southbound 61, some moderate volume at 64 this morning. Same thing, southbound 79, some moderate volume headed for Main Street. And then 64 eastbound, just moderate volume out at Prospect. Then it's much better. Westbound, a little bit of volume at Hanley. Northbound 270, slow pockets of traffic, 55 up through 64. 55 slowing in the right lanes at 270 at Bayless. And there's volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. This report brought to you by Barron Mirror Glass and Door. They have the largest, most beautiful showroom in all of St. Louis. It's full of the latest, most custom designs. It's in Chesterfield Valley. There you'll see why they say creativity unlimited, quality unsurpassed. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Our temperatures continue to bounce around, and we're going to jump close to 70 this afternoon. Partly sunny skies. There's still a chance of a spot shower, but the overnight rain is basically moving out. Then tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Just kind of gloomy. 47 degrees. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, 61. Then here comes a stronger batch of rain. Periods of rain and some thunderstorms Thursday night, and into Friday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Thanks, Dave. It's 7:07. We've got 52 degrees. Don't forget to take the Marc Cox Morning Show and all the great shows on 97.1 FM Talk with you anytime, anywhere you go. All you need to do is download that free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Welcome back. Glad you are here with us on a Tuesday morning on the Marc Cox Morning Show. Dan Buckin here alongside me this morning, filling in obviously for Kim St. Ange, who will return from maternity leave next week. You know, it's weird, Dan. I texted her yesterday. I'm like, so how you enjoying this last week off? Silence. I didn't get anything from her.
Crickets.
I don't know if it's the alarm clock she's not going to be looking forward to. I'm sure leaving those babies won't be easy. So
yeah,
we're looking forward to it, having Kim back. But we also appreciate your contributions, my friend.
It has been a blast. 12 weeks went quick. It was like
zipped right by.
It really did. This whole year has just flown by.
Nuts. I know it has. If you're just now tuning in, you missed the breaking news that I broke at about 5 a.m. this morning. Regarding my Responder Rescue ATF raffle that we help out with every year.
This is big.
Big new addition as a prize here for this. If the person that donates the most to this raffle this year, whether you win one of the three great prizes or not, is going to be treated to dinner with blues legend Tony Twist and me. I'll throw myself in there as a bonus. You may not care about that as much as Tony Twist.
Just wind Tony up and let him go.
He is a great supporter of Responder Rescue, and he has agreed to have dinner with the person that donates the most in the raffle this year and their significant other. And, of course, I'll be along, and so will Pat and Lisa from Responder Rescue. So we're looking forward to a great night, so don't hold back. Because somebody's going to win that as well, whether they end up winning one of the three great prizes. I mentioned this earlier. I was at Lore Wine and Spirits yesterday where they made a donation this year. I knew they were going to. I just didn't know what all would be in it. It's like another $900 worth of...
And that's not its own item. That goes with your barrel package?
Yes, with the whiskey package. It's not only you're getting Pappy Van Winkle and the Weller and all that, you're getting... a bunch of wine from Gunlock Bun Shoe. You're getting spiced rum. You're getting moonshine from Sugarland. You're getting Devil's River whiskey as well, Four Roses, Green River, another $868 retail value that's going to be added in there alongside the Stolock whiskey package and all the other great stuff. That's just the bourbon basket. I've called it a bourbon basket. It's like a restock your bar package is what it is.
It's like a liquor store. What
It
are you
is.
talking about?
Yeah, I know.
It's like everything you need for like the next 4 years.
$1 a ticket, folks. Text responder to 33100. Buy your tickets today. We're going to pick 3 winners on the 26th, so next Wednesday. And we've really got to ramp this up between now and then because we're a little behind on donations. I think being out a week with broken ribs kind of put me behind the 8 ball here.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could donate, please do. And, of course, you might win the night at Lit Cigar Lounge or the CZ 9mm concealed carry handgun from the Range St. Louis West. Good luck to you. Text responder to 33100.
And it's now a charitable challenge. Whoever can donate the most gets an extra bonus.
That's right.
You don't even have to be drawn to win. That's worth a prize by itself.
Throwing it in there. We
Right.
appreciate Lisa at Responder Rescue for working that out for us. It's going to be great. All right, coming up, Todd Piro, host of Fox Friends First. Mark Walters at the bottom of the hour. We'll talk to him more about this new Delaware law that has a judge has allowed to take effect. It's just like, are you kidding me? Like, what part of shall not be infringed do these liberal judges not understand? They've allowed these Delaware lawmakers to do something that is as outrageous as an FOID card, which seems like such a bad old idea, and they're trying to do something like that in Delaware. We'll talk to Mark about that at the bottom of the hour, and we'll get to Dan's segment here before the end of the hour as well. But right now, I want to get to our top stories, please.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
I have done for my whole career. I'm fighting hard to bring Americans' costs down. I'm fighting hard to deliver for New York. I've done that my whole career. I'm going to continue to do that. Period.
Chuck Schumer not giving up easily, baby. They want him out of there, but he knows he'll never make it as a grill cook since he puts cheese on raw hamburgers. So he's got to stay in the Senate where he can make $200,000 a year for doing absolutely nothing.
Listen, her district, her congressional district in Georgia is plus 20 Republican. That means that, there's a lot more Republicans. If Donald Trump actually does choose to primary her, it could cost her her job.
Well, isn't that the reason that most Republicans in Congress don't go up against him?
Oh, the View are suddenly all on board with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Isn't it how funny they flipped?
Trump had, you know what happened. He's sitting in the White House having a conversation with J.D. Vance, and Vance is like, I'll bet you can't get the people on View to like Marjorie Taylor Greene. And Trump says, hold my beer. Watch this. Marjorie Taylor Greene, and suddenly they love her.
Oh, she's the best thing ever.
I'm a supporter of stacking the court. I'm also a supporter of, and I firmly believe if we held Supreme Court justices to the same standard that we hold other federal judges, there's a compelling case for the impeachment and removal of at least 2.
All right, so this just is, so you know what's coming. This is the leading Senate candidate in the state of Maine, a guy named Graham Plattner. He's running for the United States Senate. He wants Democrats to pack the Supreme Court and impeach at least 2 of the current sitting judges. He doesn't think the Senate's done nearly enough to be aggressive when the Democrats are in power. And if they regain power, the first thing they're going to do is get rid of the 60-vote threshold. Why don't the Republicans strike first? I don't understand it.
Read them. I don't know. Honestly, brother, if Biden had that for 4 years and didn't release it, I think they're very suspect at best. So I'm kind of over all that.
Yeah, Tim Burchett, the congressman, the Republican, he's so down to earth. He's sort of like a John Kennedy out of Louisiana a little bit. They're like, they're going to vote. What do you think about the vote to release the Epstein files? He goes, you know what, brother? If they had anything in there, Biden would have released it 4 years ago.
I'm
not too worried about
I'm so done with that. That's great.
Yeah, I've got audio here from Donald Trump way back in 2015 exposing Epstein as a problem for Hillary Clinton. More so that he clearly wasn't worried about it himself. He's like, this is a bad guy. That was a bad island. Listen to Trump way back when, before he was officially a candidate.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. The island was an absolute cesspool. So,
the Clintons are friends
and he's
of
been
yours,
there
right?
for many times.
The Clintons are friends.
Well, I can't say friends, but I know
You're friendly. You know them.
they play at my clubs a lot. I have clubs, and everybody likes to play
Are you
at my
saying
clubs.
there's a political problem for her if she runs for president?
It could be a political problem. Look, he could be a political problem. Right now, he's Teflon, and right now, maybe not. But he could end up being a political problem.
Wow.
That
way
was
back when.
2015. That was
before he came down the escalator.
That's right. So he was calling Epstein out and saying, even though he's Teflon right now, that dude's going down and he's probably going to take people down with him.
Yeah.
And he was warning, I think, Hillary Clinton, because there are definitely some Clinton ties to
Here's
Epstein.
what I would warn people. For anybody who's drooling out there right now, thinking, oh, this is going to get voted on this afternoon and we'll have the list by tomorrow, think again. If they've already released 20,000 pages of emails, before they can release whatever they're going to release next, they're going to have to go through it and
redact
all of the names of all of the victims who don't want their names out there. And this is going to be a process. Whatever starts today with a vote is not, even if it makes it through the Senate, you're not getting any answers on this for a long time. So I'm just trying to temper expectations for whatever is about to come out of Congress on this whole thing. All right, coming up, we'll get to Todd Piro, host of Fox and Friends First. Always love having Todd on every week. And our friend Mark Walters at 7:37. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we've had some issues this morning. We've got wet roadways and an accident southbound 170. Looks like it's south of Page. So if you are traveling in that area, there really is a jam behind it. There was an accident westbound 70 near Jennings Station Road, and that, of course, is causing a delay. Eastbound 70, just some moderate volume east of K. We've got southbound 61 lining up as you head for 6440 this morning. Accident reported eastbound 364 east of K and 64 itself. Some moderate volume out at Prospect. Most of it is westbound approaching Hampton, and that goes out through the inner belt. Southbound 270, moderate volume at 64, but it's northbound that has slow pockets 55 through 64 with an accident reported just north of Gravois. 55, of course, slowing at Bayless. Heavy traffic if you are headed in from Illinois on the Poplar Street Bridge as well. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Sponsored by Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty 314-325-6888.
Need to sell your home and you want the most money? The name to remember is Gloria Lou. Yes, Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty at 314-325-6888 and start packing.
If you are nearing retirement and you've been saving, and that's good, but you don't actually have a written plan, how do you know that that money is going to take you through retirement? This is why I keep recommending financial and tax architects, because they specialize in creating tax-efficient retirement strategies, but also showing you how and when to claim Social Security, how to build an income plan designed to last as long as you do. And that's really the goal for everyone. So what they do is put on a class called Retirement Planning 101. It's a little bit eye-opening, and it's 2.5 hours long. But at the end, you'll kind of have a grasp on retirement and money. And then you can see if you like FTA and see if you don't want to sit down with them and have them help you with a plan. So you have to register, although the class is free. Go to F as in Frank, FTA-RIA.com, FTA-RIA.com. This is not something to put off.
This is my favorite time of the year to finally enjoy our outdoor spaces because it's getting to the point where it's not too hot outside or it's not too cold, but you want an outdoor space that you actually can relax in, right? That's built to last. Lakeside Renovation and Design, they do basically everything. They could build you a custom deck. Maybe you've been wanting a screened-in porch, a covered patio so that you can enjoy it even when it's raining. You can sit out there and drink your morning coffee, listen to our show. They can do all that for you. They use these durable, low-maintenance materials like, for example, composite decking and aluminum railings, and they're built to last. That's what I really appreciate about them is that they make sure that they use these quality materials. This is a family-owned company, been doing this here in the St. Louis area for close to 30 years. A+ rating from the BBB. Go look at how many 5-star reviews they have. You'll understand why so many people want to partner with the company Lakeside Renovation and Design. Again, don't just wait until the spring to plan for the space that you want to enjoy next year. Start now with a free consultation. Go to lakesiderd.com.
The bad news? Prices are rising everywhere. The good news? We can help. As health insurance brokers, our services are free. We work for you, not the insurance companies. But what type of insurance can we investigate for you? Do you need health insurance for yourself, family, or business? Have you considered life, dental, vision, or accident supplements? Let us explore your options with you. Call Bill Pauly and his team at the Pauly Agency. We put the sure in insurance. For a free quote, call 636-222-2149. That's 636-222-2149.
Support our first responders at the 38th Budweiser Guns N' Hoses, presented by Stiefel, Thanksgiving Eve at Enterprise Center. Go to gunsandhoses.com to get your tickets today. The best holiday party in St. Louis. It's go time.
Unapologetically right. Marc Cox on 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, host of Network News and current 6th placeholder in his football fantasy league, Todd Piro. How are you, my friend?
I'm sorry. Let's review. Okay? There are 3 fantasy leagues. In the Fox and Friends staff one, not the on-air people, where they all have... In the Fox and Friends staff one, I am in first place.
Okay, all right.
Resoundingly, okay? Second of all, in the Ruthless podcast one, I lost this week. Let's see where I currently am. Stand by. I wasn't ready for this. Okay. I have the same record as everybody in first place, but
Okay.
I have fewer points. So I have dropped to 4th place. I am on a 2-game losing streak, but nevertheless, I am 7-4. And if you look at the top 4 teams, I am in first place, just tied and in 4th. In the other league, I've told you this. I did not draft that team. I said, I don't have time for this crap. Can I say crap without the bleep?
Yes, you
'Cause
can.
I already have 2 leagues.
Uh-huh.
I've got 2 kids. I've got 2 jobs because, I'm a dad, in case you didn't know that. And I don't have time for it. But they said everybody's doing it. So I said, fine, you run it. I was unaware that they were going to be publicizing the friggin' results. So
And now Carly Shimkus is beating you. How can
so
that
I
be?
let this kid just run it, and by the time I know what's up, like I missed the first couple of weeks where they were running it. I'm like, whoa. I'm in last place.
Yes.
So I put it on social media. You can find it. It's on my Instagram. I had a press conference, a mock press conference, where I fired the guy who ran the team.
Your GM's gone.
I told him we wish the best for him and his family.
Okay.
But I had to take over. And so since I've taken over, we have won more than we have lost, but I got a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, so
Clearly I've hit a nerve here. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Todd.
boy.
yeah.
A little inside Fox there, people.
Cut the crap.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Is it true that Mom Donnie, does he actually have an appointment at the White House with Donald Trump, or is that just a rumor?
You always ask me these things, like there is a story out there, but I, the 5 a.m. anchor, am going to know the real story. Yeah, because all the news that's out there is a diversion. Everything is really a diversion to get everybody else off the case so that I'm a little overmodulated, I'm sorry. So the 5 a.m. news anchor can get the real story and impress everybody.
Well, I know you had Paul Morrow on, right, talking about this.
Guy.
And this is what Mom Donnie said about the current police commissioner situation up in New York. Listen.
I made that commitment during the election. That's something that I continue to believe.
Will she stay in that office?
I continue to be confident in my decision.
She has said more than once that the officers, she wants more of them. And you don't have that in your positions yet.
I think that the number of officers that we have is the right amount. I think the better question, frankly, that is often lost in our politics is how do we keep those officers on the force?
Yeah. So this guy is going to defund the police is what's about to happen in New York, right?
Okay, here's my response. Up until about a week ago, this angle of this story, it would have upset me because I worry about my health and safety. I want as many cops on the street, and you have to be realistic. Jessica Tisch, even though Democrat and appointed by Democrat, has done an amazing job in this city. So the takeaway is she is very, very good at managing and getting the most out of her talent. Okay? So why did I say last week? What was the change? Was it something that Mamdani said? Was it something in the political? No. Hear me out. The Giants only fired their coach and not the general manager. And the Tisch family half owns the Giants. And so I, quite frankly, don't care if she gets kicked out of her job as police commissioner. I want her to take over the Giants because she can make things happen.
So she's
and
a
her
defensive
family
coach, is what you're
owns
saying.
the team. Oh, are you kidding me? I would honestly, I'd put her on the sidelines with a headset over Shane Bowen.
That's funny.
Any day of the week. That guy is. My kids can do better defensive coordinating. So I'm off. If Tisch has to go to the Giants, clean up that mess, get rid of Joe Shane. You already got rid of Brian Dable. Who cares if it's a woman? She cleaned up the New York City situation. She made the city relatively safe. I'm not looking for a Super Bowl. She made the city relatively safe. I just want a team that's relatively okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking for 8 and 9.
Yeah,
I'm not asking for too much.
Our 2 New York Giants fans who listen to this station are really happy we just spent a minute talking about that. I'm just
Are
kidding.
you attacking me? Let me tell you something. You guys should be happy that somebody's talking. You wish you had a football team.
We
in
do
St.
wish
Louis.
we had a football team. Yeah, because our Chiefs are terrible. Of course, they right now are playing
You're
rather
in St.
terrible.
Louis?
We got the
I know.
Battlehawks,
It's,
so
it's
they was
Missouri.
right?
It's Missouri. We have a lot of Chiefs fans here.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Battlehawks.
Okay, so the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia at the White House today. What do you think the agenda is? Obviously, trying to get them into the Abraham Accords has got to be the top priority for Trump, right?
Yeah,
That's
but-
what the
but-
invite's all about.
I mean, is that really going to happen? I asked an expert today, and she said, no, not going to happen. They're going to try to use the F-35s as a means by which to say, we sell you these planes, you join the Abraham Accords. She said it's not going to be that easy. But, all those who have doubted Trump in the past, one of those things. So, so don't put it past him. And she didn't seem too keen on this notion of a defense force being sort of led by the Saudis in the Gaza. She gave me the impression that really the Saudis want nothing to do. They just want to sports wash the world, honestly.
Yeah.
They want to do fun things, and they don't want to do the serious stuff. So we'll see.
Todd, we got to run. Thank you.
You're awesome. Have a great weekend, brother. All righty.
Okay, bye-bye.
See ya. He's a good sport.
I say good weekend. It's Tuesday, but we don't have him till
We won't talk to him until
next week. He's
That's all
awesome,
right.
though.
All right, coming up, we will talk to Mark Walters, host of Armed American Radio's Daily Defense, and find out his take on basically Delaware just adopted an FOID card. How did a judge let that happen? We'll be back in just a minute.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 39 29 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Let Banner Construction show you what a difference James Hardy can make to your home. Banner's exterior design team will show you custom design options to transform your home into the neighborhood showplace. Banner is a preferred James Hardy and Pella Window specialist. With winter just around the corner, now is the time to think about Pella Windows for energy efficiency and comfort. Call Banner Construction 314-569-1050 to schedule your free in-home consultation or the website bannerconstruction.com and have a banner day.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-548-4040. 800-548-4040. That's 800-548-4040.
For 97.1 FM Talk, I'm Dan Buck. It's 7:30 and 53 degrees under cloudy skies. A St. Peter's man was sentenced to more than 15 years in prison after kidnapping his pregnant girlfriend at gunpoint and trying to force her to get an abortion. Kevin Smith, 42-year-old, was arrested back in December of 22 after the victim had been sending texts to her family members while Smith was driving her to the Planned Parenthood clinic in Fairview Heights for an abortion. Police interceded at the clinic. They ended the kidnapping and they saved the woman's unborn child. A third student has been detained by Lake St. Louis police after a homemade bomb exploded at a Lake St. Louis home that belonged to a school official. The incident occurred on Saturday evening when police officers were called to a subdivision off Highway N. The two explosions captured on surveillance cameras. No one was injured, but the home did sustain damage, according to police. And in sports, the Blues will be up in Toronto tonight. They face the Leafs. It is 7:31, 53 degrees. I'm Dan Buck for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we've had rain this morning, and these wet roadways have definitely caused issues. If you are a southbound 170 driver, there is an accident south of Page that has left us with a jam back through Natural Bridge. Westbound 70 jammed, approaching an accident at Jennings Station Road. Eastbound 70, moderate volume from out west to about 141, and then it opens up and looks fine. There was an accident eastbound 364 past K this morning, causing delays. We've got mainly moderate volume along eastbound 64 from out west at the 70 split into Big Bend. Westbound is heavier, and that's Kings Highway out through McCausland. Northbound 270, there was an accident reported 55 kind of on the ramp there, or at least 270 northbound north of 55. That's causing a delay, and then slow pockets from there on up through Manchester. 55 slowing northbound at Bayless. And if you're headed in from Illinois, it's a slow go on the Poplar Street Bridge. This report brought to you by Point with an E Pest Control. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Tired of mice? Point Pest Control finds their entry points, eliminates the infestation, and seals them out for good with our exclusion services. Mention Annie to get 10% off on top of any other special. Call 636-798-0023. Visit Point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com.
Well, I can still see water standing on the streets here in downtown St. Louis this morning, and it poured out in St. Charles County last night as those storms moved through. If you have a leaky basement, did you notice? Hopefully you didn't, but if indeed it's back, you need to call Home Shield Foundation Repairs. Let Matt Hayes get out there because he'll take care of the problem, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. When somebody's going to give you a lifetime warranty on their work, you can take some consolation in the fact that, yeah, you got to get it fixed, but you're not going to have to worry about it again, ever. And Matt stands behind that. He's been involved in the foundation repair business for over 20 years. He is going to be able to come in and take care of that. He's the local owner of this company, so you're not dealing with some conglomerate, and he's right here in town, and he's a great guy. Call him at 314-227-9636. He's the one coming out. He's not sending somebody else. Matt will be at your house, and you can chat with him because I know you're both listeners of the show, and he'll be honest with you. That's all you're looking for. Fix the problem. Don't upsell me on anything. That's Matt's promise to you. 314-227-9636. He's got great videos of everything he does right online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
At a dinner party, I heard a guy say, "I believe everything happens for a reason."
Dimitri Martin.
And I just wanted to smack him in the face, you know?
The Quick Draw Tour.
And he'd be like, "What the hell did you do that for?" You tell me.
November 20th, on stage at the Factory. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Produced by Outback Presents.
That's your belief, man. That's your thing. I don't know.
Don't miss Dimitri Martin, live.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
From Alton to Wildwood, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
A new law is now on the books in Delaware after a judge declines to restrain it pending a court battle that requires anyone looking to buy a handgun in Delaware to first obtain a purchasing permit. That law passed along party lines in the Delaware state legislature, where Democrats hold the majority. But what many may find interesting is that despite this requirement of a purchasing permit, the state does not require permits for ownership of handguns, nor for openly carrying them, only to carry concealed.
If you ban them in the future, the bullets will have been shot and there won't be any more available.
So you don't shoot deer with a bullet that size. If you do, you could cook it at the same time.
Put that double-barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts outside the house.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
This is 2A Tuesday, brought to you by the Range St. Louis West.
All right, Mark Walters back with us from Armed American Radio's Daily Defense, and just a fine American. How are you, Mark? You doing all right this morning?
I'm doing good. Welcome back in the chair. Great to be with you. Good morning, St.
Yeah,
Louis.
you bet, man. I appreciate you. What about this situation in Delaware? I mean, as Dan and I were talking about earlier, what about shall not be infringed is so hard for these liberal judges to understand?
Well, it's beyond that. I think, again, it's agenda, right? And it's just more proof positive, Mark, as you and I have talked about many, many times, that it has nothing to do with the Constitution. It has to do with political agenda, period. And they put that over and above everything else. Because, I've got the Second Amendment tattooed on my arm, and I read it from time to time. And it stops "it shall not be infringed." It doesn't say, as long as you do this, that, or the other thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But we always fall back on the shall not be infringed. There's so much more to it. A lot of people forget that there's another half to the Second Amendment. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed is what's mostly quoted, but it's a well-regulated militia. And the left uses that, and this is where you hear the agenda come in when they talk about the Second Amendment. See, it's well-regulated. That means gun control. No. It's 18th century Oxford English. A well-regulated clock means a clock that's in finely tuned working order. A well-regulated militia is a well-trained militia, which is made up of the people, which is you and I, that is designed to keep because it's necessary for the security of a free state. That's why our right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It's not rocket science, and it doesn't require a PhD.
Well, and people oftentimes try to make it an individual right given to us by a Constitution, and that is not at all what it is. It is not. The Constitution and the Second Amendment doesn't give us the right to bear arms. It is limiting the government from infringing on our right, and that's what gets misconstrued here. The government should not allow, force us to have fingerprints in a card in order to own a gun. That is an extra step of infringement that we shouldn't have to go through. I don't believe that. I mean,
you're absolutely right. And Tim Kaine made a fool of himself just a couple weeks ago when he talked about at Congress in one of the hearings about how there are people out there who believe that rights come from God and not from man or government. Rights are granted by government.
Absolutely do.
And of course that clip went viral. And the fact that it went viral and he made a fool of himself is actually encouraging. It means that a lot of people understand what it is that we're talking about here right now. They get it. That's why he made a fool of himself. Because it's not just the Second Amendment, but it's the entire Bill of Rights. These are inalienable rights recognized by our founders as being granted by God to us that were recognized, and it's why they deemed it. And all you got to do, folks, is read the Federalist Papers to understand all of this. We simply don't have enough time to go into that. But I would highly recommend Federalist 46 if people want to understand the right to bear arms.
Do you know, Mark, whether or not this is something the Second Amendment Foundation is involved in? I mean, I know clearly the judge made the ruling that the law could go ahead and take effect as it was being challenged.
Yeah, and then, let me move that over with our short time up to Supreme Court cases right now, because the Second Amendment Foundation is involved in a number of cases, over 60 cases right now being litigated by the Second Amendment Foundation. I want people to understand that it's Alan Gottlieb and the Second Amendment Foundation that are responsible for over 85% of the litigation that we've won in courtrooms across this country, including many at the Supreme Court. And right now, the Second Amendment Foundation is seeking cert the Illinois Cook County assault weapons ban right now. And the big one that we're talking about right now, the big news, is the Connecticut case. The Connecticut Second Amendment Foundation and Connecticut Citizens Defense League are seeking cert for to overturn Connecticut's assault weapons ban. And this case has a really, really good, pun intended, shot at making it. Now, we felt the same way about the Fourth Circuit case, the Maryland assault weapons ban case, which was known as the Snopes case. And this one checked all the boxes. It had been completely litigated through to its end after delays by the Fourth Circuit, and they finally upheld the Maryland ban, the full Fourth Circuit did, and it was ripe for the Supreme Court to take. When the Supreme Court did not grant cert, because they didn't have 4 justices, which is what's required to grant cert to get the case to the court before the full court for oral arguments, Kavanaugh issued a statement saying, hey, guys, we will get one of these cases either in the next term or the one after, which means this term right now or the next term. And we have 2 huge cases up right now. The Connecticut case is unique because it's very simple. It's called an interlocutory case. It has not been adjudicated to completion yet. And as a result of that, which it doesn't matter, the court has taken cases in that situation before, but this case actually asks only one question. Hey, guys, can you ban this gun or not? That's all this case talks about. And it's high time, post-Bruin, 3 years after Bruin, that all of your precedents are now being overlooked by lower courts. And it's now time you talk. We need an answer on this. So this case, we're really confident. We know. Well, let me put it this way: we're never confident that the court is going to take a case. You never know. But if we get the case taken by the Supreme Court, I can promise you we're going to win the case. And here's why. And I'll quote the great Alan Gottlieb from my show on Sunday night. They will not take the case to uphold the bans in the lower courts. If they wanted to do that, they would just refuse the case and let those bans stand. If they take the case, we're going to win the case. It's that simple.
Man. Good. That's encouraging.
It
so
is.
we'll
very encouraging.
When are they supposed to make a decision on some of those cases? Anytime or sometime this session or what?
Yeah, they have. There are 4. Believe it or not, right now there are 4 Second Amendment related cases seeking cert at the court. So on Monday we got the notification. None of those cases were granted, but none were denied cert, which means they just put them off to a next conference. In the meantime, you've got a couple other cases. So we're looking at a total of 6 cases seeking certiorari at the Supreme Court now, which is almost unprecedented. But in a post-Bruin environment, It's really not, because the court has already made these decisions. And I think it's important people understand, why isn't the court taking one of these cases yet? Why are they waiting? Kavanaugh told us that we're going to get one. So what are we waiting for? Well, what's happening in a post-Bruen environment is, Bruen being the 2023 victory that we won, individual rights case, et cetera, New York, et cetera. But the reason it takes so long is because the court has to wait and see how the lower courts are going to rule after they ruled in the Supreme Court case. Now we have a couple, 3 years behind us under our belt, and now these cases are coming to the Supreme Court, and they're going to take one. Hopefully they take one this session, and we would get a response from the court after oral arguments in the summer of this year by June. If not, we get one next year. But we've got to do this. Look, Thomas is aging. Alito's aging. We've got to get this case before the court. Kavanaugh knows it. We will get one. And, guys, I want to tell you, I'm very confident in this. When they take one of these assault weapons ban cases, we will win that case.
Boy, glad to hear it for sure. Mark Walters, remind people how the best way is they can follow you on social media and otherwise.
Well, they can't get me now on Twitter because it looks like Twitter's not loading anything right now, at least in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, us neither.
AAR Mark, AAR Mark, and of course they can find out everything they want about Armed American Radio at armedamericanradio.com.
Yeah, you were running a poll the other day. Mark asked this. I love this on social media. It said, name a band that everybody else loves but that you hate. A band that you can't stand but it seems like everybody else loves it. What was the winner of that poll, Mark?
There were a bunch, but the Grateful Dead came up a lot. I will tell you that.
And Springsteen.
My answer to that, well, I was taking a guitar lesson, and the instructor asked that question. I thought that was interesting, and I put it out there. Mine was two bands, Bruce Springsteen and the Grateful Dead. I can't stand either one of them. And the one in the Grateful Dead, because when I came up, actually got me in fistfights when I used to tell people that I hated the Grateful Dead.
Like
they punched me out.
All those violent Jerry Garcia fans got offended by that, right?
Yeah, as soon as they came off their dope buzz, they were good to rock and roll and punch me out,
Mark, have a great day.
I love you guys. Thanks, St. Louis. Have fun. Keep the fight up.
Take care of yourself. That guy can play a guitar, too, man. Telling you what. He sent me a sample of he's really cooking on the guitar these days. I suggested
Mark's
Bad Bunny.
Guitars?
Mark
Walters,
okay.
Yeah. All right.
He's into it. I threatened to start playing guitar again. Mark actually did it, and he's getting pretty darn good at it.
Well, Judas Priest would have made my list too. I never got into.
You were never a Priest fan?
I never got into the Priest at all, and everybody was when I was in high school. I'd be like, dude, I'm not getting it. I just don't. Yeah,
I wanted to see him when they were at the Family Arena this past year. I missed it. I think I was out of town or something, but I always loved him. Interesting. That's funny. Remind people what's coming up on your segment next. Dave.
Oh, it is Truth Bomb Tuesday. We've got an awesome woman who does these great little short snippets of truth that you got to hear, particularly about generational hatred that seems to be promoted amongst counselors of blaming your parents for everything that's bad in your life. We'll have that after the break.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, the wet roadways this morning were causing some issues, and accident westbound 70 at Riverview in the right lane is one of them. Also, an accident southbound 170 at Page. That's been blocking the right lanes with a jam behind it. Southbound 270, slow pockets, and it's really from 70 down through 64. We've got eastbound 70, slow pockets out west, say Highway A through about the airport, and then things open up a bit. It was a little slow at Jennings Station Road. 64, some moderate volume out west at Clarkson, and then east of Lindbergh through Big Bend, with westbound slowing at Kings Highway. Northbound 270, slow pockets 55 through Ladue Road, and northbound 55 slowing at Bayless this morning. We had an accident reported out west too. That was Winghaven at Highway Double D. Now on the Illinois side, volume westbound headed for and crossing the Poplar Street Bridge, and eastbound 64 in the construction zone near Greenmount Road. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Sounds like your sleigh's about to get prepped for the season. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we don't just change your oil, we also check your tire pressure, battery, wipers, and lights. Just stay cozy in your car and let our trained pros handle the rest. No appointment needed.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. Join us on Monday, November 24th at Helen Fitzgerald starting at 3 for the official Guns N' Hoses weigh-in. You could win tickets, meet the fighters, and hang out with us. Details at 971talk.com/events.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas & Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
All right, so Veterans Day is past us, but it's Veterans Month at Overhead Door Company. They give you a 10% discount if you remember the military. If you're a veteran, if you're active duty, you just tell them, and they're going to give you a 10% discount. Here's the other thing: they've got a coupon page at the Overhead Door Company, the original Overhead Door Company, overheaddoorstlouis.com. You go there and you just click on specials. They've got $250 off any entry door, $200 off an insulated double garage door, $100 off a single garage door. There's even a senior citizens discount, and they'll do a residential garage door tune-up for only $99.95, which is a great deal. They're going to find out what's going on. If you're looking for a new door, there's no better selection in town. These folks have been around for 99 years. Anything you've got at your house, whether they installed it or not, just give them a call and tell them you heard Marc Cox talking about it. 314-781-5200. 314-781-5200 or online at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
If you're trying to sell your home, there's only one group of agents in town I trust, Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. My friends Mark and Neil have the best system, options, and strategies to connect you to the best qualified buyers. 314-336-1991. Check out thegelmanteam.com.
Welcome to Coffee House. How are you today?
Hi, great, thanks. May I get a sea salt caramel latte with almond milk, extra caramel, extra shot, iced,
Gross.
and to go, please. Did you get all that?
No, I was just ringing you up for all the extras. Can you repeat your order, please?
Oh, never mind. I'm just gonna go.
Stop paying extra for extras. Get fancy coffee without the fancy coffee price at Quick Trip. Raise your coffee bar.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative. But don't give a f***.
It is our Truth Bomb Tuesday, where we always find somebody out on the internet who's just dropping truth bombs each and every day. And I love today's. This gal, I've been following her for probably a year and a half. Her truth is not always popular, and what she talks about isn't easy for some people to hear. And I think truth in general is just tough, don't you? That we sometimes don't want to hear what challenges our pre-notions or our assumptions, or we're clinging to certain things and we're in denial about certain things. And when the truth is presented to us, you're hard to accept it. But today's social media warrior, I just think she brings a truckload of truth. She posts these very short snippets, and it's usually life advice and insightful truth bombs in all of her posts. And they're short, but they are spot on. Oftentimes, she is diving into particular practices around parenting or around blaming your parents that so many Gen Zers and some millennials love to do. Her name is Tanya Kazal, and she is a best-selling author. She's got about 230,000 followers on Facebook. She also has an X account. But I'm going to share two of her recent posts where she explains why blaming your mom and dad for your tough life isn't fair and it isn't productive. Here's Tanya Kazal with today's Truth Bomb Tuesday.
Our parents didn't have the luxury of finding themselves. They didn't have the coaches or podcasts telling them to regulate their nervous system. They had bills, babies, and pain, and they still showed up. And they held families together while carrying pain that they never got to name. They didn't heal with therapy trends. They healed through faith, through feeding their families, through doing what needed to be done. And adult kids now look back and criticize their emotional intelligence, forgetting that generation built the foundation that everyone now stands on. They didn't get to rest. You do because of them.
Now, she takes it a step further in a little later thing where she actually gives some working advice to young adults on how to get past this blame game on your parents. Hit it.
Villainizing your parents will never heal you, because you can call it inner child work or protecting your peace. But if your healing requires making your parents the villain, all you're doing is clutching to that pain and anger. You're not freeing yourself by rewriting history to make them the monsters. You're just keeping the story alive so that you never have to grow past it. Because once you stop blaming them, you lose your excuse and you're forced to grow.
Amen.
And growth is not always easy. You have to face yourself. The parts of you that yell the way they did, react the way they did, avoid the way they did, shut down the way they did, speak the way you did, all of it. That's the real work. And most people would rather stay angry or stuck than face the mirror. You cannot heal while holding someone else hostage in your story. Forgiveness and grace doesn't make them right. It just releases you from needing them to be wrong.
Oh,
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Oh, brother. If you know an adult, young adult probably, who is in this victim mindset, I strongly recommend you share this woman's page, because every day she's given great advice. She's a great therapist. She's a counselor. She's an author. And she keeps these snippets short. They're all between 30 seconds and a minute long. And you can find her at Tanya, Tania, Tania, Tanya Kazal, Khazaal. So Kazal kind of spelled differently.
Some good advice. Everybody knows somebody that could use that advice, I'll bet you.
Man, it's good
with
stuff.
This snowflake generation's telling you.
Just don't blame other people. Get your life moving by yourself.
Coming up, there's some apparently web problems out there this morning. People are having trouble getting to Twitter and some other sites, X, I guess I should call it. We'll talk more about that coming up. Plus, Ryan Wiggins is in with Wiggins America. Stay tuned.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Dad, that's what Grandpa Rip always said.
That's right. 50 years ago, Grandpa started Grasser. And whenever a customer called, he'd smile and say, "Hey, it's good to see you."
Hey, it's good to see you.
It was his way of treating people like neighbors, not numbers. That's why we still say it today.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Men, need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends, near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Heidi Ricken Provost of Ricken Financial understands the importance of financial stability in your retirement plans.
If there's something we can do to help benefit your financial future and provide more strength and stability in your retirement plan, that's exactly what we do here. And we do so on a complimentary basis.
Call today, 314-207-6211 or online at rickenfinancial.com and join us for Kickin' with the Rickens, Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Power to the people. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump just wrote that on Truth Social, calling on Congress to reform health care by allowing subsidies to go directly to Americans, not insurance companies who he wrote have ripped off America long enough. As Democrats keep pushing for an extension of Obamacare tax credits set to expire at year's end, driving up the cost of coverage for millions of people. As Democrats blame the president for making things unaffordable. He says, though, his policies keep bringing prices down.
My pledge to every family and every small business is that I will not rest until you are richer, stronger, more successful, happier, till you've gotten a piece of the American dream.
Addressing a McDonald's conference of restaurant executives and franchisees last night, he called himself
the very first former McDonald's fry cook ever to become president of the United States.
Referencing his campaign event last year, making and serving French fries. We got our first new batch of economic data now that the government's back open. First-time unemployment claims for the week ending October 18th rose to 232,000. The number still collecting jobless benefits rose to 1.957 million, the most in 4 years. The House plans to vote today to compel the release of more Epstein files.
Every mention of Trump, they're going to bring it out day after day after day because the Democrats have nothing.
That's Republican Congressman Tim Burchett. President Trump's urged GOP lawmakers to support the resolution, saying there's nothing to hide in the push for more information in the investigation into the late Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking of underage girls. Saudi Arabia's crown prince will hold talks today with President Trump at the White House, where Fox's Mark Meredith reports.
The U.S. appears eager to deepen its economic and defense ties with the Saudis. Trump telling reporters on Monday he's ready to sell the kingdom F-35 jets, but there are concerns the aircraft's technology, which is considered top of the line, may end up in the hands of other countries, including China.
Some people are offline and frustrated this morning. There's been a widespread internet outage through infrastructure provider Cloudflare. America's listening to Fox News.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it. Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
For 97.1 FM Talk, I'm Dan Buck. It is 8:03 and we've got 53 degrees under cloudy skies. A third Wentzville School District student has been detained by Lake St. Louis police after a homemade bomb exploded in Lake St. Louis outside the home of a school official. The incident occurred this past Saturday when police officers were called to a subdivision off Highway N. The 2 explosions were captured on surveillance cameras, and while no one was injured, the home did sustain damage. Following the explosion, authorities said remnants belonging to an improvised bomb were seized, and 3 teenagers are now in juvenile detention. A 4th suspect, believed to be an adult, is still being sought in the case. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police are continuing their efforts in cracking down on reckless and illegal driving in the city. Over the past week, police have arrested multiple drivers illegally operating mini bikes on the streets near downtown. Additionally, all 6 of those loud mini bikes have been seized by law enforcement authorities. 16 building trades in the St. Louis area are forming a network of support to focus on the mental health of their workers. The motivation is some staggering statistics. Construction workers have the second highest suicide rate of any industry, only behind mining. Substance abuse is also twice as common as it is among the general public, and overdose deaths occur 18 times more often than job site fatalities. In sports, Monday Night Football, the Cowboys whooped up on the Raiders 33-16. Tonight, the Blues will get back to the ice. They're in Toronto to face the Maple Leafs. That's your headlines. I'm Dan Buck for 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Well, we look good through North County this morning, but there's some moderate volume in pockets eastbound 70. Lake St. Louis Boulevard through about Jennings Station Road before opening up. Southbound 170, moderate volume from the Rock Road through 64. Southbound 270, moderate volume, but it's 70 down through Ladue Road. Northbound is heavier, and that, of course, is jammed between Gravois and 64. Northbound 141 jams at 21 and also at 44. Eastbound 64, slow pockets from Prospect all the way through Big Bend, with westbound slowing at Hampton. And we've got volume westbound 55-64 from the 70 split across the Poplar Street Bridge. Northbound 55, of course, slowing at Bayless. This report is brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design. For over 25 years, they've been St. Louis's trusted choice for transforming homes inside and out. From windows and siding to kitchens, baths, and outdoor spaces, they deliver quality craftsmanship backed by lifetime warranties. Visit lakesiderd.com to start your dream project today. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Our temperatures continue to bounce around, and we're going to jump close to 70 this afternoon. Partly sunny skies. There's still a chance of a spot shower, but the overnight rain is basically moving out. Then tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies. It's kind of gloomy. 47 degrees. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, 61. Then here comes a stronger batch of rain. Periods of rain and some thunderstorms Thursday night, and into Friday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Thanks, Dave. We got 54 degrees under cloudy skies. Don't forget to take the Marc Cox Morning Show and all the fabulous shows here on 97.1 FM Talk with you. All you need to do is go out on the App Store and download that free Odyssey app.
The Marc Cox Morning Show is brought to you by Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
The internet is broken. That is all. Return to your normal life. Cloud outages apparently affecting services across the country this morning. This is breaking news. We started to notice a little problem when we went on the air at 5, and we thought it was just a glitch of some sort. But now there's a company called Cloudflare that's apparently based out of Chicago, and that is causing websites around the world to not work right now. So it's a content delivery network called Cloudflare. Like, I tried to go to a website a few minutes ago, and I got the negative message popped up that said we cannot connect. Internal server error is basically what it says. It says your browser's working, the host is working, but the Cloudflare host is not working. And so if you're having internet problems this morning, if you're wondering why you can't get on certain things, that might have something to do with it. Apparently, it was 30 minutes before Cloudflare even acknowledged it was having problems with its global network.
Would that, in fact, X too? Because I'm not getting any downloads on X.
I can't
all.
get X to refresh at all this morning on my app on my phone. So I assume maybe that's part of the problem. That a bunch of companies use Cloudflare as sort of a middleman of some sort, and right now it is throwing a wrench in the gears. I mean, it was so bad. How bad was it, Mark? That I went to open up a web page earlier, like it was Armed American News, because we were having Mark Walters on. And Dan, it took so long for the page to open, I felt like I was on an AOL dial-up. You could see each graphic like slowly loading down the page. You remember those dial-ups singing the song of their ancestors while you're waiting for your content to pop up?
I just remember all that. All that stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's a problem this morning. So just so you know, it's not just you. This is a nationwide problem with Cloudflare, and they don't, other than acknowledging that it's a problem, they haven't said that when it might be fixed.
Yeah. First world problem.
Yes.
Yep.
So maybe if your business depends on this, you're going to get a little extra time around the coffee pot today, potentially.
Wally's asking if we could call Al Gore to get this fixed.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah,
he invented the internet. He can certainly fix it.
He did.
Yes.
He did.
Oh, my gosh.
But yeah.
Great idea.
That's a great idea.
Thanks, Wally.
Yeah.
Don't you have Al Gore on speed dial?
I used to. He used to call in here every once in a while.
Yeah, he was a big fan of the show.
This is Al Gore.
See?
I may be bat crazy when it comes to climate change, but I never miss the Marc Cox show.
See? Thank you, Al.
Except when your internet goes down, Al. Doggone it. Holy cow.
Yeah. So before all of the internet problems, earlier, Dan and I were talking about this a little bit. Have you seen the news story? We started to talk about it yesterday, and for some reason we didn't get around to it, and I can't remember why. And it's all the stories that started circulating yesterday about this Thomas Crooks. And some of the new information that has come out about this guy was remember they said that they couldn't initially
couldn't find anything on him. Remember?
Chris Ray wanted you to believe they couldn't find much of a footprint on this guy on the internet, and oddly enough, reporters were able to find a footprint on the internet, but the FBI wasn't at the time, it seems like. And he was using they them pronouns and obsessed with political violence, and had some weird fetish things going on the internet once they started searching him. So,
but there's no tie to that whole gender identity crisis to violence. None. There's not. Don't even try to make that assumption, Mark. It's not there. They, them, whatever.
Yeah. It's pretty sad. It's sad that it took that long to get out. So we'll talk a little bit more about that story coming up here for you in just a few minutes. First of all, let's get to our top stories, if you don't mind, Ethan.
The Marc Cox Shortlist, presented by Rhino Shield.
And AI is going to change everything. White-collar jobs in America will diminish before a lot of other kinds of jobs. You don't need code writers as much anymore. Code's going to be written by the other AI.
Yeah, you know who that was, don't you? That was Lurch. That was Kerry, John F. Kerry, as Rush used to call him all the time. Telling you that the entire world is going down because of climate change, and we just haven't done enough about climate change, just so you know.
It's sad for me because in 2020, I actually was a very big supporter of the Democratic Party. I donated the maximum to Tulsi Gabbard. She's now a Republican alongside Trump. I hear Trump talking about tariffs. I understand this. I am a business owner. I own a skateboard company. We make all of our products in America, and I know what it means for an industry to outsource those jobs. And I agree with these tariffs because it's been a godsend for the manufacturing in this country.
How about that? Tim Pool is that guy's name, and he's on there singing the praises of these tariffs. Do you realize that before we had an income tax in this country in about 1916, we paid for government with tariffs? Does anybody realize that?
I did not know entirely. So
they transferred
federal budget was tariffs.
Yeah, that was a big source of the funding, and they transferred that to the American people instead. Maybe it's time to go back.
I like going back.
We've seen masked, heavily armed agents in paramilitary garb driving unmarked cars, targeting American citizens based on their skin color, racially profiling and picking up random people in parking lots and off of our sidewalks.
Lies. That's the governor of North Carolina, a guy named Josh Stein, out there lying about our ICE agents, claiming they are targeting and racially just like driving down the street and randomly picking up brown people, which they're not doing unless they have a warrant for your arrest or a deportation order.
Yeah.
So if we think there's a problem in Seattle where you have a very, very liberal/communist mayor, but if we think there's going to be a problem, Johnny, can I say we will move? I don't think you're going to have this problem, but we're going to move the event to someplace where it's going to be appreciated.
Trump says, if I get any grief from that new communist mayor out in Seattle, we'll just move the World Cup games.
Which is worth
to a different city.
Tens of millions of dollars.
Thank you.
To that economy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's move it
it's
to a
more than
different
one
city.
game. It's like a series of games that's scheduled for Seattle.
He's putting a warning shot over their bow, and I'm glad to hear that. There were rumors that he was going to have a meeting with Mamdani, and here's what I hope and pray. That is one of those meetings where he invites him into the Oval Office and lets the cameras stay while they debate the issues. Remember when he did that with Schumer and Pelosi, and they were nervous as two cats in a room full of rocking chairs? They didn't want the public to see that. Mamdani won't either, because Trump will gut him like a fish. That's what'll happen. I really hope that gets televised if it happens. Let that be a lesson to all you communists out there.
That whole relationship's going to be toxic for the next 2 years. I mean, there's so much federal funding that keeps New York afloat, and he's going to use that as a trump card.
He's going to try.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's going to try to whatever the courts will let him get away with, I think.
Yeah.
And now Mamdani yesterday in an interview, I played part of an interview earlier where he's talking about policing. He doubled down on his plans to try to arrest the Israeli prime minister if he ever comes back to New York.
Right.
Because in his argument, New York's an international city and must therefore recognize international law. He has no idea. Either he doesn't understand our political system or he's just that stupid. One of the two.
Wow. He really has said
he
that?
said that.
I know he said he wanted to arrest.
We don't recognize the ICC. And the ICC is the one that indicted Netanyahu because they were unhappy with him fighting terrorists in Gaza. And now he's claiming he's going to allow him to be arrested under international law if he comes to New York, which he can't do. He just doesn't. He doesn't have the authority to do that. But he's an idiot, and all of his followers follow him hook, line, and sinker.
He would never lie, though, to people about getting anything done. I mean, not at all. He would not ever give falsehoods in order to get elected.
I want to be part of that when it happens.
Fly on the wall.
Yesterday, Channel 4 caught up with the former director of FEMA here in the city, the Emergency Management Agency. Not FEMA, not the federal, but the city Emergency Management Agency.
Right.
Caught up with her.
Really?
Nobody's heard from her since she got fired. And she had some interesting things to say. We're going to get to that because they've now hired a new SEMA director. Guy looks like he's straight out of the military academy, the picture they used of him yesterday. So we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Ryan Wiggins at the bottom of the hour. Stay tuned.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
If you are northbound on 55 or will be, we've got some volume at Bayless at this hour. Northbound 270, slow pockets between Gravois and Ladue Road, and it's mainly moderate. Same thing with southbound, just moderate volume from Page down through 64. Now, westbound 6440 is jammed, Hampton through the inner belt, but eastbound just has the usual volume, and that means slow pockets from the 70 split through Big Bend. And 70, there's some moderate volume in both directions at Jennings Station Road. Eastbound out west slow, Lake St. Louis Boulevard through 79, and then things open up. If you are headed in from Illinois, there's some volume today. Westbound 5564 from the 70 split across the Poplar Street Bridge. This report brought to you by Jerry Kelly, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
furnace funky?
Then make one call.
And Jerry Kelly will be there the very next day.
Call anytime, 8 to 8, 8 days a week.
And Jerry Kelly will fix your furnace or install a new one the very next day.
JerryKelly.com.
All right, Zero Res ready to help you out as you head into the holidays. Maybe you've already got some stains you need taken care of. Maybe you want to get them scheduled now. So if there was indeed something happened around Thanksgiving, you've got them coming in right after that to get it cleaned up. Just reach out, and they will give you 3 rooms of carpet cleaned the month of November, starting at $139, $50 off air duct cleaning. You can book them right now by calling 314-474-2020. 314-474-2020 gets you the 97.1 special, and then you're ready to go. And what's great about Zero Res? Zero residue, right? They don't have those harsh chemicals that the other companies use, so there's no residue left behind when they leave. They can zero resify just about anything, not just your carpeting, but your upholstery, your tile. They can do it all. Gets it sparkly clean, and then you feel better about it, because that's why you want to get your carpets clean, so you feel better about your kids and your neighbors and your friends walking on it for sure. Call 314-474-2020. Go online at zeroresstl.com. Tell them you want the 97.1 FM special. Zero Res. You spell it backward or forward, it spells the same.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
All righty, we're getting ready to come into winter here, where we're going to be using our furnaces. A lot of you are getting prices now, or you're getting your furnaces checked and you're being told that you have an issue with your furnace and you need a new furnace. So if that is the case and you want a very simple common sense approach to picking a furnace, if that's the case, I'd appreciate you calling and giving me a chance to meet with you and discuss your options. So call me. It's one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. Just one number. Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. That's Bart Inman, 314-293-2600, or on the web is bartinman.com. Now, there's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
They were disappointed with you not taking accountability for things that went wrong.
I don't know where they get that from, honestly. I've tried to be very forward and transparent with my supervisors, with everyone that I can be. This is my community. If people ask me a question, I've always tried to answer it as much as I possibly can.
That is Sarah Russell there on Channel 4 yesterday. They found her on some construction site doing some work, and I don't know what the nature of that work was, but whatever, she's working for someone. That's good, because she got fired as SEMA chief after the mess on May 16th during the tornadoes, where the facts as established in that report is that the entire emergency management team in the city, despite knowing we were under some sort of a severe weather alert that day for the possibility of severe weather, were down the street, all of them at some woke conference with no access to the button to turn on the alarms. Now, ignore the fact that there were 20 of the city's 65 alarms were inoperable. and a whole host of other things that the report found. She doesn't blame herself. She blames the fire department for the problem because there were only two places where you could push a button to make the sirens go off. One was in her office. The other one was at the emergency dispatch for the 911 dispatch for the fire department. So she got on the phone, called the fire department and said, you need to push the button. Well, lo and behold, they either misunderstood her or their button didn't work. And therefore the alarms are now. Can you say for sure that 5 people died directly as a result of the fact that the alarms didn't go off? I don't know, because in some cases, if you're close to an alarm, you would hear it even if you were inside. It's mainly designed to alert people who are outside that there may be a tornado coming. So you can't maybe directly say, yes, this is 100% the deaths are her fault, but you can't look at this and think this was properly managed. This was her defense of this when she was pushed on this by the reporter Amilati for Channel 4. Listen.
Russell claims the city's reliance on the fire department to activate sirens was a long-standing practice, one that failed when it mattered most.
Is there anything you would have done differently regarding May 16th? Or do you stand by the actions that you took?
Knowing what I know now, the only true mistake that I feel was made on that day was that we did what we always did and we trusted the St. Louis Fire Department.
You feel the fire department dropped the ball that day?
I'm not trying to necessarily point the finger. I just have questions like everybody else does. And I don't have hope that I'll ever have those answers.
The fire department declined an interview for this story, but in a statement to First Alert 4, Chief Jenkerson says the city's warning system is now fully automated with a manual override, and the department now maintains continuous 24-hour contact with the National Weather Service to safeguard residents and strengthen the city's overall emergency preparedness.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're the SEMA director. At the end of the day, there was a tornado warning, first a watch, then a warning. 12 minutes between the time that tornado landed, they had warnings being issued by the National Weather Service. The fact that she is in some woke DEI conference up the street,
I think it was on climate change or something.
Okay, but with her entire staff, nobody left manning the whistle during a watch. That's negligence beyond negligence. I can't even. You have one job to do, right?
Well,
one job to do is to protect this city during emergency times, and you think sitting in a conference room is more important than manning the office during a severe weather situation.
It'll be interesting to see. She's challenging this under civil service, her firing. She may end up getting some sort of settlement out of it. I don't know.
Well,
they've hired a new guy now named Greg Favre. He is a former firefighter himself with the city, and now he's the new emergency management agency. He's a Navy officer. He looks the part, too.
Looky here. I mean, this is a non-DEI hire. Good job by the mayor, right?
Yeah, well,
I mean,
kudos to Mayor Spencer.
He's an actually qualified, former firefighter, understands emergencies, a Navy officer. And he's white, which shocks me that a major department at the city is going to have a Caucasian.
I would agree. I will say this. My guess is he maybe not post tornado, but even if he was in charge before the tornado, trying to muscle the funding out of the city hall, who has so many unimportant priorities over there, like repaving Market Street or something. I don't know what they're doing now. Repaving 12th Street that goes in front of City Hall.
Tucker, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'll bet even he would have had trouble implementing all of they'd already had recommendations of the fact you got to make sure all these things work. You got to get them updated.
Supposed to test them. Supposed to test them monthly. And they weren't even doing that.
They were having trouble accomplishing any of that. And I don't know how much of that were political headwinds she faced or if she was just incompetent. I don't know. The report puts a lot of the blame on her.
Yep.
So we'll see.
A deep investigation.
Yep. Yeah. Coming up, it's Wiggins America, and Ryan tells me that he's got a little bit of information on the tariff case pending before the United States Supreme Court. We'll get to all that and more straight ahead.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
All right, let me tell you about my friends at Hanson's Tree Service, the great thing they do for our veterans. I love it. I love it. This is a company that's going to come out and take care of your yard care for you. Trees trimmed, removed, whatever you need. They're going to do a great job for you. You know what they did for this month in honor of Veterans Day? They ran Operation SOS. They took nominations, and they're now doing free tree removal and service for some selected military families, active duty and retired, who needed that extra hand. And that's what they did to give back to our community. I love what Hanson's Tree Service does. Just in general, their support of this community all through the tornadoes we were just talking about. They removed a lot of those trees as well. So if you're looking for some yard work, if you were trying to get that done, I'm going to recommend you call Chad Hanson and the fine folks at Hanson's Tree Service. They're always there for you. 636-379-1830, online at hansonstree.com.
I'm Dom Savino with Your Money Now. Toyota has pledged to invest up to $10 billion in the U.S. over the next 5 years, and it's working to make good on that promise. Today, it's announced plans to invest close to $1 billion to build manufacturing plants across the South. The plants will help the Chinese car maker increase production of hybrid vehicles. Toyota leads the hybrid market with more than 50% of total sales, according to new data. The nation's two largest sports books say they're quitting the leading trade organization representing the gambling industry. FanDuel and DraftKings say they've ditched their memberships in the American Gaming Association because that organization won't support the latest trend in the online betting business. At issue are prediction markets, where you can bet on anything from pop culture to the weather. Both sports books want in. The AGA does not agree. Heading to the open on Wall Street, where stocks are looking at a fourth straight day of losses, investors worried about the AI rally. That's Your Money Now.
At Bank of America, we asked our people, how do you take ownership of your career?
I'm able to grow my way by putting the priorities that I have for my career first.
I thrive on being a leader who's behind the team, not in front of the team.
Every few years, I'm being re-energized because I get to do something different and learn something new.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Accident westbound 6440 at Big Bend, and they've got the left lane blocked there. Traffic, a parking lot jam behind it back near Kings Highway. There was also an accident eastbound 70 before 79. That's created a delay out there. And eastbound 64, most of the volume is in pockets, and this is approaching 270 through Big Bend. We've still got some volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge, also on northbound 55 in the right lanes headed for the bridge. And northbound 270, slow pockets now approaching Gravois up through Ladue Road. 55 is also slowing at Bayless. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This report is sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis.
Attention veterans and active military. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is giving veterans and active military 10% off all month. That's 10% off all doors, openers, and any service or repair. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Most of us spend decades saving for retirement, but few of us ever know how to change that income, change that savings into lasting income. And that's where financial and tax architects come in. They help people all over St. Louis work to protect your life savings, but also to minimize taxes. And you do all of this, of course, so you can retire with confidence. And they have a class called Retirement Planning 101 that shows you exactly what people often miss, and that's how to avoid the hidden tax traps. How in the world does the average person know how to handle taxes in retirement? We just don't. That's why you go to a class and figure it out. And it's a free class, but you have to register. So you can call 314-888-5101, 314-888-5101, and let them teach you how it works. And chances are you're going to want to sit down with FTA and have them look at the plan and write a written retirement plan for you, having looked at what you've got. It's the best way to feel better about retirement.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
One of the biggest gifts you can give your family is peace of mind. That's why I trust and recommend Civia Law. They've helped so many families, including mine, right here in our community with estate planning, wills, trusts, powers of attorney, and elder law issues. I've seen how stressful it can be when a loved one passes without a plan. Families are left confused, sometimes tied up in probate court, and it can cost so much in time and money. But with Civia Law, you don't have to worry about that. They'll walk you through everything and even deliver your completed documents in just 2 weeks from your first appointment. And here's something special just for you. Mention the Annie Fry Show, and the first 10 listeners right now will get a free strategy session. That's a $300 value. 833-995-WILL. Just be sure to mention the Annie Fry Show when you call. Civia Law has 7 convenient locations across Illinois and Missouri, including in Edwardsville, Swansea, and Creve Coeur. Secure your legacy and protect the people you love. Call 833-995-WILL. That's 833-995-WILL. Or visit CiviaLaw.com.
Bold takes, real talk, no apologies. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This is embarrassing.
Yeah, the internet's still broken. Even while I was on talking earlier, Dan was having trouble getting on the same website I was already looking at.
Yep.
So maybe it affects different computers in different ways. I don't know. I was on that website. You were trying to get to it, and you got the message that it wasn't working.
Right.
So.
And then I had to close that out, go back to it, and it worked. So it was weird. But there's a lot going on the internet today.
Happened.
And X continues to be down. No new posts are loading, at least not for anybody in this studio.
Why aren't we spreading out things like that a little more? Remember when about, I don't know, probably a year and a half ago, somebody hacked the company that does all of the scheduling for car dealerships across the country. And I happened to be in a car dealership the day it happened, and the guy goes, if we got to go to paper on this, we won't be able to do any warranty work because we have to get that approved by the company that manufactured the car before we can do the work, or we're not going to get paid, and it's going to back things up for months. It was one company that got hacked. and it screwed up the entire system. So you got to wonder what's going on here. I don't know that if they find out afterwards, everybody relies on this one company. Maybe it's time to share the wealth a little bit. Hey, let's get to Wiggins. How about that?
Wiggins.
There we go.
Oh, Wiggins.
Ryan, good morning. How are you, my friend?
Well, I'm glad to hear it's not just me because I was having trouble with everything online. I thought, oh no, maybe it was just me, but I guess not.
Well, yeah, I know you were probably on the Little Debbie webpage there trying to order some Hostess cupcakes or something. He goes to some place over in the Metro East and brings in discount cupcakes all the time. You still going there, Ryan?
Oh gosh, yeah, I love that place. It's in Roxana.
Okay.
It's called Second Gen. Yeah,
Second Gen of Hostess cakes. That's what are they, like a week from
Little
expiring?
Little Debbie's. They got everything. They got expired wall, and that's my favorite wall because everything's so cheap. But they have everything.
Expired wall.
Yeah.
Does your wife know they call it that?
You know what? We just don't tell Katie some things, and some things we do, and that's why we don't.
Oh, it hurts to laugh.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's funny. Oh, man.
Well, Ryan, what are we going to talk about today? What's going on in the Ryan's world?
So this is not brand new news, but it is a little bit of a deep dive. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the things going on at the Supreme Court. Lots of things going on at the Supreme Court with oral arguments, no decisions yet. But the tariffs is one that I've been watching very closely, and, of course, the president's been watching very closely, because the Supreme Court has indicated a lot of things, and it's hard to make out exactly what they're going to do with this case. Have you been following this very close, Mark?
Well, I followed it because originally the president said he was going to show up the day they debated it. He didn't. I think he sent Scott Besson up there. We talked to one of the Fox reporters about it last week.
Shannon Bream.
Oh, Shannon. Yeah, it was Shannon who said the first hour of it sounded really bad for the president, and then the second hour of it sounded really bad for the other side. So she said they asked equally hard questions, she thought, over the course of about 2 hours.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought, too. I didn't hear Shannon say that. That's good to know, because it was like the first half of it, you thought this is going terribly for the president and Scott Besson for that matter. Because all the questions from the justices you thought might be sympathetic to the Trump argument of executive authority on this topic were not. I mean, they were asking very probing questions. But then I guess the defense with the president's side, the White House counsel, kind of kicked in about halfway through, and they started almost asking the justices back questions in a way that had to be respectful because you don't want to piss them off. But they started asking questions that led to the justices having to admit that the president does have authority to cut off trade entirely from countries, but then how could he not have a lesser power than that to tariff them? And it kind of caught everybody off guard, and it was really interesting to read about in the transcripts and, kind of pay attention to, because there was no clear answer after that where they were going to go. The first half, yeah, it seemed like they were going to take his power away. But after that, everybody was kind of left going, well, yeah, that was a really good argument. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, if you have the right to boycott an entire nation's products, which has happened multiple times under multiple presidents, you would think he'd have the right to impose a tariff. That does make a lot of sense. Yeah.
Well, right. It's a negotiating ploy, right? If they strip him of the ability to do this, and Congress gave it to him originally, Congress could take it away. But if the court steps in, it's going to cost untold billions of dollars.
No, trillions.
The damage is going to be horrendous to the economy.
All of these trade deals, Mark, have been built upon the threat or the need for the tariffs, right? That he says
the pressure,
the only way. I mean, he's got $17 trillion of foreign investment coming into the United States over the next 3 to 5 years from companies who wanted to avoid the tariffs and therefore are bringing manufacturing here. If the tariff power is taken away from him, we lose all of that investment because they're going to be like, hey, you can't hold us accountable because your courts say you can't tariff us. To me, this would be devastating to our economy. Don't you agree? I mean, the trade wars are terrible right now.
Dan, you guys said it. You guys said a couple of different points there, because what I'm finding is that there are 4 different categories that people are approaching the tariffs on every side. And if you're a Democrat, you're pretty much doing the first category, which is I hate the tariffs. Trump's involved with it. I want nothing to do with it. But outside of that, there seems to be three other categories. And one is people who they like the tariffs because it's a negotiation tactic. They like having that for Trump. So that's two of them. The third is people who want to use the tariffs also to bring businesses back to America. That's the third. The fourth is people who want to use the tariffs to make money. And so there are all these different categories, and everybody's kind of in different ones. And I don't know which ones you guys are in, but I definitely think the negotiation tactic use of them is strong.
Well, it is.
I think it's necessary. All four, I think I'm in the camp of.
Well, I just think you tell every one of these countries, we're going to match whatever your tariffs are.
Right.
You bring your tariffs down, we bring our tariffs down. And he's used that effectively so far.
Well, and people always talk about the import impact. What about the export impact? How is this going to increase manufacturing by him opening up trade in these other countries where we could never get in because of unfair export tax of those countries putting huge tariffs on our products? Now those are lifted. So now Ford Motor Company came out last week, Ryan, and talked about how this is a game changer for them in Europe, that they're going to get more Ford vehicles now made in the United States into Central Europe.
Yeah, I mean, we don't hear all the good news because, of course, a lot of it doesn't get reported. But you said, too, we've brought a lot of new business back to America, trillions and trillions of dollars through these things. Now, Trump is a master negotiator. My guess is he'll figure out, even if he loses the tariff power, he'll figure out some sort of leverage. But right now, that is his main leverage.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I got a great soundbite this morning from a guy named Tim Pool, who owns his own company, who was talking about these tariffs and what it means to him as an American company. Listen.
It's sad for me because in 2020, I actually was a very big supporter of the Democratic Party. I donated the maximum to Tulsi Gabbard. She's now a Republican alongside Trump. I hear Trump talking about tariffs. I understand this. I am a business owner. I own a skateboard company. We make all of our products in America, and I know what it means for an industry to outsource those jobs. And I agree with these tariffs because it's been a godsend for the manufacturing in this country, real Americans to get work, to benefit our culture. And when I look at Democrats, what are they talking about? They've got Mamdani talking about free buses and faster buses. He has no authority to do that. Chuck Schumer is infighting with Democrats, but the socialists are likely going to take over that party. I don't recognize them anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's insane. What'd you do? Let the dog out?
Oh, did I hear a clanking? Sorry, I just clanked my doorknob. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you need to get some WD-40 on your hinges, brother.
A little peek into the life.
There you go.
All right, Ryan.
But we're all in agreement. The tariffs are working, and right now they're good. And if this Supreme Court, for some reason, rules against Trump, and we have to do givebacks, this could be very costly to our country.
But the last point I'll make is that there's a lot of nuance to this issue, and a lot of people on the right who debate, which of these categories do I fall in? Why do I like them? Why do I dislike them? But ultimately, almost everybody agrees he has used these things as a negotiation tactic for the good of the country. Mm-hmm. And for him to lose just that aspect of it would hurt.
Amen.
That's a great point. Yep. Ryan, remind people where they can listen to Wiggins America.
Wiggins America, Saturday morning, 7 to 8, and Sunday night, 7 to 8.
Outstanding, buddy. Take care. We'll see you soon.
All right, see ya.
All right, yep, thanks.
We'll hear him on Annie Fry later today.
Absolutely,
right.
You bet. All right, quick break. We'll be back in a minute. We'll talk more about this outage that's going on in this Thomas Crooks news that kind of broke yesterday that I don't think got nearly the attention it deserved. We'll be right back.
Traffic from the 97.1 FM Talk Traffic Center.
Eastbound 70 still a slow go, headed for 79 this morning. And then things open up and really look okay into downtown. Now, 64 has had some volume, but at this hour it's not as bad. Most of it is east of Lindbergh through Big Bend. The accident was westbound 6440 at Big Bend in the left lane, and that created a jam that goes back through Kings Highway. Northbound 270 unwinding, but still some volume north of Gravois up through the Dew Road. Northbound 55 slow, headed for the Poplar and some slow-moving traffic westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. Also, eastbound 64 on the Illinois side, slowing east of 159 due to road work. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
All that rain beating on the side of your house last night. Maybe you don't think about it, but if you've got just regular old paint on there, that rain, the hail, you name it, the cold weather, all of that, it affects it. It beats down on it. It's thin, and it doesn't take very long before it loses its luster and it starts to look kind of dull and shabby. That's what weather does. The sun beats down on it during the hot summers we have around here. You don't have to worry about any of that if you have Rhino Shield. So if you've considered recoating your house in something, take advantage of this deal right now. Call Darren. Say, I want Rhino Shield on my house. I'm tired of wasting all the money at the big box stores buying paint every few years. I want Rhino Shield. Even if he can't get it put on before the end of this season, as the weather gets colder, you'll get 2025 pricing for the spring. And when they start working again in March, he'll get his crew to your house. They're there for about a week, and you get 2 to 3 coats of this great product on your house. Then you get a 25-year transferable warranty. He can do this for businesses, churches, you name it. It is a fantastic, beautifully durable paint, and it's called Rhino Shield. Call him today, 877-25-RHINO, or go online to 877-25rhino.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. Join us on Monday, November 24th at Helen Fitzgerald, starting at 3 for the official Guns N' Hoses weigh-in. You could win tickets, meet the fighters, and hang out with us. Details at 971talk.com/events.
Extra, extra, read all about it. The Fed just cut interest rates again, and that means now is the time to refinance with Golden Oak Lending. Lower rates mean lower payments, and our customers are saving hundreds every month. Plus, you can make no payments until next year. And if your loan doesn't close, we'll pay for your appraisal. Call 314-567-GOLD today and start saving.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS number 114937.
First responders get in the ring for the 38th Budweiser Guns N' Hoses presented by Stiefel. It's the biggest holiday party of the year, the night before Thanksgiving at Enterprise Center. Get your tickets now at stlgunsandhoses.com. It's go time.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
What's your favorite 4-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our 4-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar, and maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Truth, backbone. Marc Cox on 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Kept my cool, aided by a lifetime of dealing with difficult men trying to throw me off.
Buildings.
I did, however, grip the microphone extra hard.
Have you ever heard that, Dan?
No. What was that? Throw men.
After Hillary Clinton wrote her memoir after she lost in 2015,
right?
Somebody then told her it would be a good idea for her to voice over the audio book. So then she went and read her own book onto an audiobook. Like, you couldn't make this up. And, here's the deal. I'm not perfect at everything. Hopefully my wife's not listening right now. I'm not perfect at everything, but I have the ability to read something, maybe because I was in the news business, that's written without you knowing that what I'm saying to you is written down on something, right? I can read a teleprompter. I can read those things with the kind of inflection that would lead you to believe that I'm not reading it.
Correct.
It's not that difficult. Now, it's more difficult if you're reading what somebody else wrote. If you're reading your own book, it shouldn't be that difficult to sound just the slightest bit natural while you're doing it. Not Hillary.
Back up, you creep. Get away from me.
She said that about the debate with Donald Trump when she was in the round here at Washington University in 2015, when she claimed that whenever she would answer, Donald Trump would stand behind her, and it made her really nervous. And this is what she wanted to say to him.
Back up, you creep. Get away from me.
And that's how she read it. This is from her audiobook. It's that stilted and stodgy, and it's bad.
You know what? I have a feeling she went in and voiced the tone of her voice, and they made that an AI. Honestly,
No. This is from back when it was released. This is from years ago.
Because that's terrible.
No, this is from years ago.
So
I kept my cool, aided by a lifetime of dealing with difficult men trying to throw me off.
Buildings.
I did, however, grip the microphone extra hard.
That doesn't even sound at all like a human being.
Sorry.
It's like a robot.
I saw that drop, and I'm like, I'm going
to put that on my hot button.
Yeah, I've really got to put that on the hot button. All right, the Matthew Crook story I talked about earlier. He was obsessed with political violence. He used they, them pronouns and had some sexual fetish about muscle mommies. I guess these are weightlifter women who, I don't know if there's some fetish thing about that.
Repeatedly
and furries.
Repeatedly searched for muscle-bound women and furries. Yes, he had a whole account for his furry friends.
And then apparently at some point he supposedly supported Donald Trump, and then he decided that he didn't support Donald Trump. It's not clear when he decided he was going to try to kill Donald Trump.
Yeah, and violent artwork, too.
But he was clearly a horrible failure at everything he tried, from what we could tell.
Yeah, he
couldn't shoot either.
There's a website apparently called Deviant Art where he had a bunch of just crazy artwork that was very violent.
Dan, thank you. We got to run here. Be sure to text the word responder to 33100. The person who donates the most to the raffle this year is going to win dinner with Tony Twist and me. Text responder to 33100. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
Time now for today's spotlight on health and wellness.
Dehydration can be dangerous as water makes up 2/3 of our